Okay, check. Time check. It's already 9 a.m. in the morning. So I would like to ask no our participants if they can hear me well. So kindly type one sa ating chat box and also sa YouTube comment box no. So kindly type one if you can hear me well so that we can start the program. Okay, I can see the chats of our participants. So I believe no everyone can hear me clearly and also loud. So now good morning again to our senior high school participants for this immersion webinar. This is for the criminology program. Okay. So for those who are already here in Zoom, please inform your classmates or your batchmates that our webinar is live on the YouTube channel so they can access or they can view our live webinar via YouTube. You can also share to them the link, no? And I think we have participants across Davao region and also South Sargent. And I believe that this webinar session, ito yung second sa may pinakamaraming participants next to education. Okay? So, I think we are good now. And before we formally start, I would like to inform again our participants that we are live on YouTube channel. Okay? So at this juncture, let us be in the moment of silence for the invocation to be led by the University of Mindanao Choral and to be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingil sa dagat at bundok, sa simuya, sa langit mamagha. May dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituing at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng wala di pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Yeah. So this time I would like to acknowledge the immersion teachers and also the students. We thank you so much for your participation. And also this time, before we start our three speakers, I would like to inform you about our program flow. This will be our three speakers. We have Dr. Reynaldo Castro, Professor Berco, and also Professor Pexon. So by 9:11 a.m., we will start the pre-employment requirements to be followed by the next speaker. Professor Berco will discuss about the criminology program, its best practices, and also the essential guide to criminology profession. Okay, so I encourage all the students to kindly listen to all the speakers because we will have our game quiz. No, we have three sets of game quiz. So we will give rewards and also tokens to those who will tap our quiz game. We will select top 5 among all the participants. Okay? So make sure na stable din yung internet para may chance manalo. Okay? So again, welcome to our immersion webinar. Without further ado, we will start with our first speaker who will discuss about the pre-employment requirements. He is the Vice President of External Relations and International Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro.
Thank you, Glenn. Good morning to our senior high school students and welcome to our immersion program. We have traveled last week as far as Davao Oriental, Davao de Oro, and Davao del Norte. And I have seen participants from those areas. No, thank you for joining us. We have prepared this program because we understand that immersion program is a requirement, no, for all our grade 12 students. But You cannot be deployed to different industries, to different companies today because of the situation that we have right now. That's why we initiated in conducting this activity. You only need to have a stable internet connection. You listen to our talk, no, you watch the videos, and then we will issue a certificate, an e-certificate for your participation, and that you can show that to your teacher that you have acquired this number of hours for your immersion program. Maybe it's not complete, no, the entire number of hours required for you to have your immersion program, but at least you have certain exposure. Okay. My topic today, I'm going to share three important topics. One is preparing your application letter and resume. And these two documents are very important when you are going to apply for jobs, because the hiring officer, the company, the interviewer will have their initial assessment whether there is a need for you to proceed to the next stage of the screening process based on these documents that you have submitted. Second is that your job interview, and I will be giving you some tips on how are you going to face that dreaded experience in your job application, no, the job interview. And you will find out later that the job interview is the basis of the hiring officer of who among the applicants deserve to be hired. And third, I'm going to talk about, social media etiquette and its importance, no, the posts that you have in your Facebook account, in your IG, in your Instagram, and all other social media accounts that you have. All right. So let's start with the first topic. Let's talk about preparing a winning cover letter or application letter and resume. And this time, I'm going to show a video presentation. Let's watch this. Hi to all our students in CAID 500 and welcome to our second video. Today we are going to talk about two important things in your CAID 500 and in your application process. Writing a cover letter, or popularly known as application letter and resume. First, why write a cover letter? I'd like to cite three reasons. First is that because you have earned a formal education, a formal baccalaureate degree, you need to show to your potential employer that you can write and that you can communicate well. That's why you have to write an application letter or a cover letter. Second is that you have to highlight your particular skills, your past work history, or other areas that are specific to the job that you are applying. You have to think of it as a quick sales pitch. And third reason is that you have to set yourself apart from the competition. Remember this, in one position, there's a dozen or two of you applying for that position. And therefore, the first level of assessment of your potential employer is your application letter. So, how are you going to write a winning cover letter? These are our tips. First, you have to write there the date. Don't forget the date. And when you are going to write your application letter, you are going to follow the American English style. So you start with the date, for example, September 10, 2020, not 10 September 2020. The next one is that you have to write the name of the addressee. Maybe the HR manager or the president of the organization. If you don't have any idea of the name of the HR manager or to whom you're going to address the letter, then you have to exert extra effort. You can visit the company, you can give them a call, and ask from them to whom you can address your application letter. If you're going to visit the company, then tell the HR office. Normally, you have to proceed to the HR office and ask the people there in the HR that you're interested to submit an application letter, and you're going to inquire from them to whom you're going to address the letter. So get the complete name, the exact position of the person, and of course the name of the company and the address. So that's how you're going to do it. For example, you have Miss Joanne T. Santos, HR Manager, Oops, you also have to make it sure that Joanne Santos is the HR manager because she might be the VP for HR, and by writing there HR manager, you have demoted the person. So it's already a demerit in your part. So you have to make it sure what's the exact position of the person. So let's go back to that. Miss Joanne T. Santos, HR manager, XYZ Corporation, Ponciano Street, Davao City. That's it. And then you have the opening. You say, Miss Santos, colon. Do not write Dear Miss Santos because remember that your application letter is a formal style of communication, and writing the word Dear Miss Santos reduces the formality of your communication unless you are very close to that person. So you write there Miss Santos colon. In your first paragraph, you have to mention how did you get to know about the information of the position, whether you get the information from a friend or somebody who's working in the organization, or maybe you have read that somewhere in the local paper, then you can cite that in your first paragraph, and your interest of applying for the position. So for example, you would say, I've read in the local paper, Mindanao Times, dated September 4, 2020, that your company is in need of accounting staff. I wish to apply for the position. Alright? So you have there the information and your interest. Why is it's important that you cite the information? Because it's also significant to the company whether the promotion that they have had is working for them. And it's giving them an output. It's giving them effective promotion of their job opening. The second paragraph of your application letter, you can write there your experience. Two things, no? One is your work experience related to the position that you are applying. And second, what are the attributes, work attributes that you possess which you think are significant in the performance of the function. And in the third paragraph of your application letter, you can write there, you can open doors for further meet and greet of the HR or of the interviewer, because you cannot tell everything in your resume and in your application letter. So you can say there that I wish to share more of my qualifications at your most convenient time. I can be reached at your contact number or your email address. And then you can close the letter by saying sincerely or respectfully yours. I suggest do not write very truly yours, because Tagalog mo yung very truly yours, ako iyong buong buo, no? It's not very formal. Again, I'd like to remind you that your application letter is a formal style of communication. So after closing, don't forget your name and then your signature. Voila! You have your winning cover letter. Let's proceed to the second video, Glenn. Last video, last discussion, we talk about how are you going to write a winning cover letter. And today, partner with your cover letter is the resume. We're going to talk about how are you going to write a winning resume. The resume is your personal brochure to market yourself. It should give your potential employer a quick view of what you can do for them. So for new graduates just like you can list your accomplishments in school. Do not worry about not having any accomplishments or work-related accomplishments. You can pick out those school accomplishments that show responsibility, reliability, cooperative spirit, and the like. That's why you have to make the most of your experience while you are still in the university. You can cite those experiences that you have with extra and co-curricular activities, your membership to various academic or non-academic student organizations. So what are the suggested format or tips in writing your resume? This is how are you going to do it. You start, of course, with the most important thing, followed by with the less important, and so on and so forth. So what you can start is you write your name, your full name, your address. You have to be specific in your address. You have to write there the street, house number, purok, and barangay. Why you have to be specific in your address? Because these potential companies of yours, they're going to make a background investigation, and one way of doing that is to visit your barangay or your residence. They're going to talk to your purok leader or to your barangay leaders, no? What are your participations, or are you really residents of that area? Then after you address, another important information that you have to provide there in your resume are your contact number and your email address. These two are important, especially in giving you feedback on the status of your application. And, you know, your companies, potential companies, they don't believe that you don't have any email address or contact number because we are in a generation of technology. So you really have to make sure that you have a functional email address and your contact number is really yours. The next one is you have to write a summary statement. A summary statement is a gist of who you are in terms of your potential to the company, in terms of what you can contribute to the company, in terms of your competence, whether you can perform to the function or not. So, two things. When you're going to write your summary statement, let's go back to the second paragraph of your application letter. I said that when you write your second paragraph in your application letter, there are two things that you are going to highlight there. One is your work-related experience, and the other one is the attributes. No? What are the attributes that you possess that are related to the performance of the function or the requirements of the position? So that's the summary statement. Later on, I'm going to show a sample summary statement. How are you going to write it? The next one is your work or school related experience or OJT experience. Now, if you're a working student, then you can write there, but you have to make it sure that your work experience during the time that you're still in the university are related to the position or to the requirements of the company, or your OJT experience, of course, for sure, are related to the requirements also of the potential company that you're applying to. So you have to cite that in your resume. The other one is that what are the job responsibilities that you have had in your internship or in your OJT experience? And I think it's there in your OJT manual, the manual that your OJT coordinators are giving to you during the time that you have your OJT. So you can copy those and include that in your resume because those are specific assignments that you have had during your OJT. And the other one is your accomplishments or your recognitions or your achievements when you were here in the university. If you have, for example, participation in a community extension, because it speaks about volunteerism, it speaks about you being a team player, no? And your exposure to other staff, that during the time that you're in the university, you're not just a plain student, but you also engage yourself to other or various or related activities that can at least bolster your experience, your qualification, and your competence. The last one is, of course, your education. So you see there's nothing there in your resume. You do not put anything that are not relevant to the position that you're applying to. No, there's nothing there that asks you about height, weight, and religion. That's why when you write your resume, you have to tailor fit the content of your resume based on number one, on your competence, on your qualifications, on the things that you possess that you can offer to the company. And second, tailor fit the content of your resume based on the requirements of the company. That's why I suggest do not buy the ready-made biodata form that you can buy in a bookstore nor in store, because there are information that you may not be included, no, in your resume, and which are actually relevant to the position that you are applying to. So that's how are you going to write your resume. Remember this, in a gist, when you write your resume, seven things that you have to remember, or you have to make it sure that these seven things are there in your resume. Number one, what can you do for me? When you write your resume, when you prepare your resume, you have to make it sure that this question is being answered in the content and substance of your resume. Second, do you have the skills I'm looking for? Third, where have you worked before? It's also important that you have to cite your work experience, the company that you had, your internship, your OJT, because aside from it was an opportunity for you to apply the learnings that you have learned from the university, for sure your work or internship experience have developed you have improved your soft skills, some of your soft skills. Like for example, work attitude skills, the ability for you to follow deadlines and instructions from the company, like wearing proper uniform, wearing an ID, coming to work on time, following the rules and regulations of the company. Those are very important stuff. Although sometimes we said that those are simple stuff, but those are very relevant stuff. Number four, is your experience relevant to my needs? Number five, do you have the right education and credentials? So you see, question number four and question number five are related to each other, which means that whether you have this experience or education and you're applying to a position that's quite different from the training and the experience that you have, you know, give that to those people who have the relevant experience and training. Question number six, what kind of person you are. So it's important that you also have to highlight your soft skills, your personal attributes. And last but not the least, where can I contact you? I overly emphasize the relevance of your email address and your contact number, because as I said, that whenever there's a need for you to report immediately or submit additional assigned documents or papers relevant to your application, this is the fastest way of the company telling you about those stuff. So I hope that with that information, you can start writing your resume. So there you have it, students of our senior high school program. You have watched the video for our first lesson, writing application letter and writing your resume. And I already mentioned that when you write your application letter and resume, you have to consider number one, the needs of the company, the expectations of the company, and the requirements of the company, and tailored fit that to what do you possess in terms of skills, capabilities, experience, and the like. This time, I will continue with job interviews. So let me share my screen. Okay. Uh-huh. There you go. Okay. So we said that the importance, the reason, the purpose of writing a resume is for you to get an interview. You will not be hired based on what you have written in your resume, but you will receive a call, no, a feedback, a follow-up, a schedule for interview if your resume and application letter are written in an impressive manner. So that's why it's very crucial. You might be asking that after submitting your resume, you have not received any feedback, no, you have not received any follow-up, you were not scheduled for any exam or for any interview. It's very simple. There is something wrong the way that you have written your resume. So now let's proceed to the most dreaded, no, the most tension-filled experience that you may have in your application process, which is the interview. And we said that if the purpose of the resume is for you to get an interview, the purpose of the interview is for you to get the job. The interview is the deciding factor for the hiring officer, for the company, of who among the applicants deserve to be hired and deserve to be placed for the position. So that's why it's very crucial, no? That's why if you see in beauty contest, in Miss World, Miss Universe competition, whatever competition is that, you have noticed that the last part of the competition is the interview, and judges decide who will be the winner based on the performance of the candidates, because they have been passing through so many screening process, so many competitions, no, and the interview is the final stage. So what is now the tip of you surviving the interview? Number one is preparation is half the battle. You can prepare the interview, I'm telling you. Why? Because number one, the questions asked during the interview are the same questions over and over again. So the point there is that why you cannot respond well. Number two, the questions during the job interview are just tests of your competence, of your ability, whether you can perform the job well, whether you have knowledge and ability and skills to perform the job. All right. So that's all about the interview, and that's why you can prepare that, no? You can prepare physically, what to wear during the interview. How candidates behave during the interview is often seen as an indicator of how they will perform. So that makes the interview the deciding factor, because the interviewer, the hiring officer, will have a better gauge, no, a better idea of whether you can perform the job well or not based on your verbal and non-verbal communication. That's why it's important that you should look prepared, no? You should look confident. And it says here that the better prepared you are, the less nervous you will feel and the more confident you will appear. So days before the interview, you can prepare, no? You can practice yourself, look for the best attire you think which will bolster your confidence. uh, Anticipate what are some of the potential questions that will be asked and how are you going to respond to them. You ask experts, no, you ask, more senior people than you are, those people which have better experience and better exposure, that in case this will be the question during job interview, how will are you going to respond to that question. And equally important during the job interview is that you have to know more about the purpose of the interview and the organization for you to be able to give your better response. And why is that so? Because there will always be questions about why do you want to work with us? Why you are applying in our company? What do you know of our company? Because you want to be part of the company. So it's just like, for guys, kung may mga crush kayo or yung mga babae merong nanligaw sa inyo, no? Before going into deeper, no, deepening your relationship and engagement with that special someone, 'di ba, you have to know that person well, the likes and dislikes, 'di ba? So explore mo na. The same thing with if you are going to apply for a company. You really have to study well, know the vision, mission, what are their products, what are their services, all right? What are their accomplishments, no? How is it like to be in that organization, all right? So, uh, during job interview, what are the usual questions? No, what are the topics to be raised? Number one is that questions about your ability to perform the job. Okay, whether you have the competence, whether you have the knowledge, whether you have the skills. If there is a need for you to, if there is a need for you to perform, no, make use of a facility, all right, equipment, then you have to make it sure that you can do that, no? If there is a need for you to assemble, because most of our participants today probably are planning to enroll a criminology program because our guests speakers are also from the College of Criminology, and we understand that in the criminology program, no, there are many laboratories, testing, ano yung magpe-perform about lie detector test, no? Um, yung parang sa Soko, if you are fan of watching Soko, di ba? Yung mga ganon, no? So, importante sa isang criminology graduate that they can perform those functions. So, yung question na ganon will be asked during job interview, okay? Do you have exposures? I remember when I was in college, no, during our time we have ROTC, and one exposure that we have was to assemble and disassemble a gun, no, mga baril, no. So we were taught how to use a gun, no, yung paano ka maka bullseye, yung mga ganon. All right? So, that's a typical example of a skill, of a competence of an applicant. For example, if you want to be part of the police force, that's why the preparation that you are going to have is to enroll in a criminology program. And in the criminology program, you will have that exposure. Okay? The other one is if you have the ability to perform the job, no, marunong ka mag-perform, alam mo kung paano mag-dismantle ng isang baril, the next thing is your fitness, no, your culture and personality, your attitude. That's why if you want to join the police force, I think our guests from the criminology program will validate that. One requirement for you is to take a neuropsychological test, no? Dapat in terms of mental and psycho emotional state, you are in a proper state, you are in a proper condition. Okay, so that's a typical example of fitness, no? The other one is motivation and enthusiasm. Are you that person who has ambition, no, to grow in your career? Do you have professional ambition? How do you see yourself in 10 to 15 years or in 20 years, no? Do you see yourself so serious about moving up to the ladder of your career, no? Do you see yourself being an officer in a police force or in a related agencies, all right? So that's a typical example of motivation and enthusiasm. And your past accomplishments, no? It's important that um, you have something to tell to the interviewer that during those past years, especially when you apply for jobs after your graduation, no, wala pa kayo masyado exposure and experience, it's important that during those times, for example, that when you were in a university, when you were in college taking your course, that you have other stuff, you have done other stuff, you have done other things that will improve your qualification, no, that will make you more competent. Like for example, nag-expose ka ba sa isang training, all right? Nag-attend ka ba sa isang community service program, nag-volunteer ka ba sa isang community service, no? Yung mga ganon, importante 'yon, all right? And the other one is the knowledge of the company or of the organization. So, if you want to join, for example, the NBI or the Bureau of Fire or the PNP, no, in the future, then you have to study well, you have to read uh, so many materials about this organization so that you have an idea about their services, about their accomplishments, no, about their vision and mission, all right, and your communication skills. So when I say communication skills, it's your ability to deliver your message, relay your message, and process the message that you have received and share that to other people, all right? So generally, when you are in an interview, these are the three things, major things, no, that the interviewer will ask from you, no. Ang question, pabalik-balik lang sa ganitong tatlong idea. Unang-una is that can you do the job, no? So about your skills, your talents, as I said, if there is a need for you to operate the computer, can you do that, no? If there is a need for you to write a report, a police report, an incident report, marunong ka ba magsulat? Marunong ka ba noon, no? Do you have the ability, no, to do that? Kung halimbawa kailangan mo ng mag-interpret, I do not know if it is also the job of a criminology graduate to interpret yung mga fingerprint, no, yung mga ganon-ganon, no? Do you know how to do that, no? So it's all about your ability, it's all about your competence. The second one is, will you do the job? It has something to do about your interest, your motivation, and your right values to work. That's why kung competent ka, do you have the skills and the knowledge. The other question will be about, are you willing to, you are from, halimbawa, you are from another area, no? You are from Jensen, or you are from Combal, I mean Davao de Oro or Davao Oriental. And if you will be hired, you need to transfer here in Davao City. So the question there is that, are you willing to be relocated? Are you willing to be assigned here in the city? Are you willing to be away from your family? All right. So that's what do you mean by, will you do the job despite some difficulties and some situations. Are you still willing to accept the job? All right. The third one is, will you fit in the company and its culture? So it's about your interpersonal skills, your adaptability, and your positive work attitude. Are you that person who is a team player, no, who can work with other people? All right, who can mingle with other people, who can understand the weaknesses also of other people, something like that. All right. So some of the common job interview questions during job interview is this, no? And in fact, it's going to be the first question that will be asked from you if you are in a job interview, no? Tell me something about yourself, or can you introduce yourself? Who are you? All right, describe yourself, no? So the tip there is that do not be so personal or long-winded. After all, you are there in a job interview, and the hiring officer is very much interested on what qualifies you, no? What do you possess that can make you perform the job? So you can highlight your strengths, your accomplishments, and the experiences that you have, those that relate to the possession, no? I mean, wag kayo mag-share ng something na which are not relevant to the possession. So alamin niyo muna kung ano yung trabaho, no? Ano ang requirement ng trabaho? Kung halimbawa ito ang trabaho, ano siya all about, no? Anong gagawin? Anong, what are you going to perform if you will be hired? And go back to yourself. What do you have that you think that, it can contribute to the performance of the job? All right? So that's the first question. The second is, I've been telling you, no, several times that you have to do research about the company. You have to read something about the company. And the nice thing about, your generation is that the information is right at your fingertips, no? You can search the website of the organization, of the agency, even if it's a government agency. You can search that in the website, so you can find so many information there, no? And then look at the vision, mission, the services, what are the functions of that organization, and you bank on that. All right, you bank on that and relate that to your interest, to your competence, no? To the knowledge and ability that you have, or probably to your aspiration, because it has been your aspiration, it has been your dream since, when you were in high school, to work in that agency, to be part in that agency, because you have seen the values, the services, no? The purpose and the mission of that organization, which you think are all aligned, no? Are all aligned in your personal mission in life, o di ba? And that's where do you want to belong for the rest of your career, all right? Okay. The third one is, what is your greatest weakness, no? Kanina, nung introduction, tell me something about yourself. You are going to boost your strengths. Anong positive attitude, anong positive characteristics meron ka? But this time, weakness. And please do not say that you don't have any weakness, because let's accept the fact that no one is perfect. We commit mistake, no? 'Di ba? We are not perfect. We are humans, and we have vulnerabilities. But the thing there is that you should be aware of your weakness. After all, the hiring officer, the interviewer is not interested of your weakness per se, but that person, that interviewer is interested whether you have the ability to recognize, no, to acknowledge your weakness. That's number one. And number two, do not, do not let the question finish without you telling the interviewer how did you overcome that weakness, or how did you like make use of your strength to dislodge, to set aside, no, that weakness of yours. You know what I mean? So ako halimbawa, I'll cite one, no. Ang weakness ko is that I will be easily irritated, no. I get irritated in the morning when I stuck in a traffic. If I go to the office and if I'm stuck in a traffic for like few minutes, just like this morning, I went to have my car washed, no, sa car wash. And it took me more than 15 minutes to wait before yung isang car washer mag-start maglinis ng sasakyan ko, no? And medyo nairita na ako. And I told the owner that, wow, what took you so long, no? Your staff to start cleaning my car, di ba? So medyo nag-init na ang ulo ko because I have been waiting there for more than 15 minutes and I almost finished the first one episode of my series na pinapanood. Hindi pa nasimulan yung pagwash ng aking sasakyan, di ba? So naiirita ako sa mga ganon, yung matagal. Kaya ako, in order for me to not experience being stuck in a traffic, so I have to wake up early and travel, go to the office early so that it will not ruin my whole day. Because if I'm stuck in a traffic or if you will let me wait for so long, it will ruin my almost entire day. All right? So kaya ako, para hindi mag-init ang ulo ko naipit ako sa traffic, maggising ako ng maaga at mag-travel ako ng maaga papunta sa office. So, you get my point. The point there is that it's not enough that you tell the hiring officer or the manager or the interviewer of your weakness, but try to identify how do you overcome that, no? All right? How do you turn that weakness into something positive, all right? So ako, ang positive ko doon is that maaga ako magising, no? And seldom ako na-relate sa mga appointment ko. Do you have any question for me? Ito advice ko sa mga senior high school students. When you're in an interview, do not let finish the interview session without you asking any question, all right? Because you have to see that interview session as a conversation. It's not a one-way communication process, but it's a conversation. So when that hiring officer is asking you question, you also have the chance, the privilege to ask question. And if I am an interviewer and you're not asking any question, the impression there is that you are not interested for that position and you are not interested to be part of our company. So what questions you may possibly ask during job interview? Well, you can ask about career growth, career potential, and career opportunities that the company offers to its employees, no, to its staff. Like for example, when you will be accepted, how long will it take for you to be regular? Are there opportunities for you to be sent to seminars and trainings? If you are planning to pursue further studies like master's program, is the company allowing its employees to do that? All right. What about salary? Is it okay for you to ask salary during job interview? My answer there is no. It is your right to know, the salary, the rate, the sueldo of the position, but do not ask that during job interview. Okay? You ask that before the interview or after the interview. All right. What can you contribute most to our organization? Hala, contribute. Isip mo, na di amutan, mag-amot kay contribute man, no? Di ba? Ala, sir, na di amutan, sir, no? Dili na siya amutan, no? But what do you possess? If you will be hired, how do you think you can help the organization grow, no, and improve? All right. So what you can do is that you can answer this question by highlighting your experience related to the position, no? Like for example, if you have leadership uh, experience when you were in senior high school, in college, no, mahilig ka mag-attend ng mga school activities, 'di ba? Participative ka masyado, mahilig ka sa sports. Alam nyo yung criminology, no? If you will be working in your different agencies when you graduate, 'di ba? Mahilig sila sa mga sports, yung mga ganyan, dapat maliksik ka talaga, 'di ba? O dapat energetic ka. So I think that is something that, you can highlight during the interview, no? And your personal characteristics, all right? So I hope that you take note of those questions, no, potential questions, because for sure those questions will be asked during job interview. All right. Uh, there's a survey done by the HR managers, no, organization of HR managers in the Philippines. You know what HR managers are? They are the one who will do the interview, the screening of applicants in almost all organizations. So, may survey na ginawa sa kanila, tinanong sila ano yung common interview mistakes of the applicants, no? Of course, during the interview. Topping the list is answering cell phone or texting, all right? So, since lumabas yan at hindi yan pwede, do not do that, no? When you're in an interview. So, pag may dala kayong cellphone, i-silent ninyo ang inyong cellphone or i-off ninyo ang inyong cellphone, all right? Dressing inappropriately, baka naka-chinelas or naka-shorts, no, or naka jeans, all right? O naka-sneakers, yung mga ganon, all right? So dapat pang interview ang attire mo talaga, all right? Sa ating official YouTube channel, we have videos there about mga personality development and what to wear during job interview, all right? Meron pa nga kami mga TikTok, no, na videos. Appearing disinterested, appearing arrogant. That's why pag tinanong kayo, do you have a weakness? Do not answer that you don't have any weakness, because that's an arrogant sounding answer, all right? Appearing unprepared. Okay, sabi nga natin, yung interview, mapaghandaan yan, all right? Chewing gum. Mm. Uh, we also understand that sometimes students and applicants, they chew gums, no, para ma-manage nila yung kanilang tension, but looks like kanding, para ka kanding, no, sige, usap-usap. So don't do that. You should know how to manage your emotion, all right? The tension. Not providing specific answers. Kaya alam nyo, senior high school students, importante, pag na-interview kayo, dapat meron kayong example, meron kayong situations, no? Pag sinasabi ninyo that I have a leadership potential, Also, when you say you have leadership potential, what do you mean by that? Then you cite an example that when you were in senior high school or when you were in college, that you lead organizations, di ba? Or you are very participative in many school activities, no? Pag tinanong kayo, what kind of animal are you, no? Pag sinasabi ninyo, bird. Do not say bird only, no? But you have to explain bakit ka bird, bakit ka gusto bird. Kung animal ka, bakit ka bird, di ba? So you cite an example, anong characteristics meron ang bird, and then you relate that to the possession. Okay? All right. And not asking good questions. So magtaka ka, bakit hindi ka na-hire, di ba? After your job interview, ayan, hindi ka nagtanong, di ba? So magtanong ka. Okay? So balikan natin yung ating resume. Bakit after submitting a resume, bakit hindi ka naka-receive ng call for job interview? Hindi maganda pagkasulat ang iyong resume. Ganun lang yon. Pero kung after ng submission mo ng resume, na interview ka, and after the interview, hindi ka natanggap, bakit? Because may problema sa interview performance mo. Alright? Pero kung natanggap ka, ibig sabihin magaling ka sa interview. Alright? Magaling ang interview performance mo. So that's how it is. Last topic is about social media etiquette. Well, I mentioned in my video, when you write your resume, you have to be specific in your address, no? Sulat niyo ang purok number, ang number ng bahay ninyo, no, ang street, because why is that so? Because the HR and the hiring officer will do a background investigation. They will check about you, about your residence, no, about whether you are really a resident of that area or what, no. In terms of personality and your behavior and your characteristics, the fastest and easiest way of doing that is to check your social media account, no? So kung ako ang HR, madali ko lang makita at mag-gauge at ma-evaluate ikaw by looking at your social media account. So these are the things that you need to avoid in your social media, in your Facebook, in your Instagram, no, in your Twitter account. Okay? One is that writing negative posts. Eh galit ka sa PLDT, no, na wala ang connection ng PLDT or ng Globe. Eh alam naman ng PLDT at saka Globe niya, no? You don't need to post that. You don't need to say something bad to the organization. Who are you, by the way, to do that, no? Eh ikaw, ano ka lang naman, 20 pesos or 50 pesos lang naman ang plan mo, di ba? I mean, ang load mo, di ba? So, well, I'm not saying that because 50 pesos lang, pero you don't have the right to do that, no? To say negative things to the problem of an organization, of a politician, of a person, all right? Because if you're doing that, ang impression nun, negative ka na tao, di ba? So ayaw natin yung mga taong negative masyado mag-isip, all right? Second, grammatical posts or use of derogatory language, no, yung mga bitter, pahawa, there is earth, kainit, mga bad words, that's not good because the words that you utter are reflective of your personality, of your character, no? Your words define your character. Remember that, senior high school students. And there is an expectation that the fact that you have finish a course, no? Pagtapos kayo ng senior high school at saka ng college in the future, that you have good manners and right conduct, that you are taught well, all right? So, dapat careful kayo. If you think that the words that you're about to utter is not good, kung magsalita ka ng masama sa isang tao, no? Isipin mo yung tao na yun na ikaw, if he will do that to you, ano ang mafe-feel mo. Alright? So, ganun lang yun. No? So, don't do that in the social media. Well, buti pa love, love, love na lang. No? Yun na lang ang isulat mo. Third is that make your posts all about you. Alright? So, dapat hindi lahat about sa sarili mo, no? Yung mga saang escapade ka, about mga lakad mo, about outfit mo, no? Yung mga experience mo, mga TikTok mo, hindi dapat lahat ganun. You have to say something also about what's happening around because alam mo, kung ganyan na lang lahat ng mga kabataan na ginagawa, no? What makes you different from the rest? You know what I mean? So kung ako ang hiring officer, I'm looking for someone who is different from the rest. Someone who is knowledgeable, someone who is smart, and someone who is well trained. Okay? So in your social media account, in your post, in your Facebook, in your Instagram, or in your Twitter, say something also about, if you have read a book, then say something about that book. If you have watched a series, no, in the Netflix or in Amazon Prime, then you say something about that, no. If you are interested in politics, then you also say something about your knowledge and about your opinion of a political issue. Okay, all right. So I think that's all, no, for our senior high school students. I hope that you learned something, and if you want to learn, no, and rewatch the videos that we have shown a while ago, you can watch them again and again in our YouTube channel, no? So University of Mindanao official YouTube channel. We have videos there about personality development, about preparing yourself for job interview and the like. All right. So I hope you learned something. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you, Sir Ray. So before we proceed to the next speaker, as what I have said earlier, that we will be having our quiz game. So I hope that everyone, know, all of our participants, listen carefully during the talk of Dr. Castro. So this time I would like to ask you to visit menti.com. Okay, you go to your Google or Mozilla or any website, no? Go to menti.com. Again, menti dot menti.com. Okay, this is the code number 6221 Okay, 6221 8203. Kindly use your ano no, your name and your school name as your username for the menti.com quiz. Okay, we have three participants already. Let's wait for our participants in YouTube since my 10 seconds delay, no? So kindly visit 6221 menti.com and use the code number 6221 8203. And take note to please indicate your school name sa username ng Menti so that your school will be recognized. Okay, we have 10 participants. Maybe we can wait for 20 more participants, no? So that we can start. And also, if you have questions for our speakers, kindly utilize the Q&A button, no? Sa ating Zoom account. And for our YouTube participants, just type down your questions if you have queries or if you have concerns about the topic. You can type down all your questions. Okay, we have 19 participants already. In 30 seconds, we will start our first round of quiz. Okay, 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay, we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so are you ready? Let's begin our first round of quiz. Okay, this is the question number 1. So you need to answer fast to get more points. How long is the ideal resume? Is it 1 to 2 pages, 4 to 5, or it depends on what you're applying? Time's up. Okay, the correct answer is 1 to 2 pages. Okay, so only 16 get the right answer. Let's see the leaderboard kung sino yung ating top 10. Okay, so for your information, no, kukuha tayo ng top 5 para sa final round in order for them to receive their tokens from the University of Mindanao. Okay, we have the fastest Patrick, followed by Joanne, Annalyn, JB of Carmen National High School, and Abdur. Okay, so in our next quiz, I encourage everyone to kindly include your school name. Okay, so let's have the next question, our question number 2. So you need to answer fast to get more points. Here's the question. Is it true or false? Okay, only five now got the right answer. So the correct answer is false. Why? Because the objective of the resume is for the applicant to get interviewed. Okay, hindi pa siya, it doesn't mean na may maganda kang resume, you will be automatically hired. So yung next process pa dyan is for you to get interviewed. Okay, that's why the answer is false. Okay, so only five got the right answer. Let's see the leaderboard. Okay, may apat sa top 10 na nakasagot ng tama. Still, our top one is Patrick, followed by Jenny, Abdur, Anne, and Joanne. Okay, let's move on to our third question. The best applicant gets the job. True or false? Okay, marami pa din. 32 got the wrong answer and only 5 got the right answer. So why false? Because the best applicant or the best interviewed yung gets the job. Kung ikaw yung may pinakamagaling sumagot, you have the good answers during the interview, ikaw yung maha-hired. Yun yung sinabi ko earlier. So that's why the answer is false. Okay? So let's see kung may changes sa ating top 5. Okay, may dalawa sa ating top 10 nakatama. Okay, still Patrick and followed by Abdur. Okay, next question, our question number 4. Which of the following should not be included in your resume? Contact number, education, or height and religion. Okay, very good. Only two get the wrong answer. So the correct answer is height and religion. Let's see our leaderboard. Okay, I think still the fastest is Patrick. Remains number one. Okay. Now let's have our final question for this round. So here is the question. Will you do the job is a general question on the applicant. Its skills, motivation, or adaptability. Okay, 22 yung mga nakakuha ng maling sagot and merong isa no for adaptability. Why motivation? Because this is a question of willingness. Will you do the job? So it's about motivation. Okay, only 12 no yung nakatama. Let's see our final leaderboard kung sino ating top 5 na makakatanggap ng tokens from the University of Mindanao. Sayang na walang mga school name. However, meron tayong top 5, yung isa from Carmen National High School. Our top 1 is Patrick, followed by Abdur, JB, Jenny, and Triple G. Okay, so reminder no, next time for our second set of quiz, kindly indicate your school name. Okay, so congratulations and for everyone, pwede pa kayong manalo on our next 2 sets of questions. Okay, I hope that you have learned something from our discussion about pre-employment requirement.
Glenn, by the way, but they can type their name and school, no, in the chat box, both in the Zoom or in the YouTube channel, so that we can also announce.
Yes, sir. Okay, so kindly type down your name and school name sa ating chat box, both in YouTube and Zoom so that we can recognize you and also we can contact you kung ano yung kailangan yung gawin to claim your prizes. Okay? So we are done with our first speaker. Now let's move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Professor Eduardo Berco Jr., our CRIM and MS CRIM. He will talk about the best immersion practices of the criminology program. Okay? Good morning, sir. Okay, so Professor Berco is the OJT coordinator of the criminology program here in the University of Mindanao. So if you have questions, class, kindly utilize the Q&A now so that our speakers can answer after all the discussions, all after the sessions. There are some questions how to navigate down the menti.com. So you visit Google or any sites now, then just click menti.com. Then pag lumabas yun, you type the code number. Okay, I think okay na ta si sir now. Our first speaker is Professor Berco of the Criminal Justice Education.
Hello, Sir Glenn. Good morning. Sir, mauna po ako.
Okay po, mauna po. So we have new changes for our speaker. Let's start first with Professor Ruela Cartinpes Con, our MS Cream and CSP. She will discuss about the essential guide to the criminology profession. And by the way, she is the one of the faculty members of the College of Criminal Justice Education. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Pesco. Hello, ma'am. Hindi ata na-share yung computer sound po.
Yeah. Siege. Riley. Taz. Yeah. Set me free and give me death, there ain't no other choices. When I lay down to go to sleep, I keep on hearing voices. Little whispers in my head, man, is you fake a lawyer? Why no water, death designer, baby, pick your poison. These little demons living underneath my bed, creeping. Know the real monster lives above them all, sleeping. That subtle breathing in your closet every single evening. Thought you never see me again, looks can be deceiving. When they hear the sound of the drum, they'll be saying, oh Lord, here they come. Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come. I used to think that people die because they wicked. Nowadays people wanna see you dead because you gifted. Been ready for my tomb since I came up out the womb. So no matter what, I'm coming back and paying you a visit. Saw it coming, I predicted, but y'all wouldn't listen. No, you can't protect your riches if you never burn bridges. Flip pages, went places, made changes, still dangerous. Now I'm back, altercation, hold still, I make it painless. How it feel, baby? When you say you love me, is it real, baby? Full speed, both hands on the wheel, baby. Young Taz coming from the Mobile, baby. You know the drill, baby. Yeah. And when you hear the sound of the drum, we'll be saying, here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. I used to think that people die because they wicked. Nowadays people wanna see you dead because you gifted. Been ready for my tomb since I came up out the womb. So no matter what, I'm coming back and paying you a visit. Saw it coming, I predicted, but y'all wouldn't listen. No, you can't protect your riches if you never burn bridges. Flip pages, went places, made changes, still dangerous. Now I'm back, altercation, hold still. I make it painless how it feel, baby. When you say you love me, is it real, baby? Full speed, both hands on the wheel, baby. Young Taz coming from the Mobile, baby. You know the drill, baby. Yeah. And when you hear the sound of the drum, we'll be saying, here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come.
Okay. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Sir Ray. Good morning, Sir Glenn. And good morning, future criminologists. No, kasi when you graduate from criminology, you will become criminologists right after you pass the board examination. So I am again Professor Rowella Pexon of the College of Criminal Justice Education, University of Mindanao. So I am here to discuss to you in a short but interactive uh, version kung anong meron sa College of Criminal Justice Education. So, yung nakita niyong video kanina is one of the many agencies waiting, no? Kapag kayo ay registered criminologists na. And obviously, that is Philippine National Police. So the topics that I will be presenting today with you is, of course, the BS Criminology program, our certifications in the college, the careers, occupations, job opportunities, the College of Criminal Justice Education, and of course, the on-the-job training and its relevance by Professor Eduardo Berco. So the Bachelor of Science in Criminology is the field of study and various agencies of justice as they operate and react to crime, criminals, and victims. It is therefore the mission of the criminology program to provide the community with professionally competent and morally upright graduates who can deliver efficient and effective services in crime prevention, crime detection, investigation, law enforcement, public safety, custody, and rehabilitation of offenders, criminological research, among others. So, hindi kasi ibig sabihin na kapag nag-enroll ka sa criminology, automatic sa PNP ka pupunta. There are a lot of agencies waiting for you. So, first and foremost, we have to operate and discuss with you, especially first year pa lang kayo, crime, criminals, and victims. So, crime is the violation of the criminal law, no? So, whenever you do something which is in violation of the law, therefore, that act is a crime. Okay? Criminals are the people who commits the crime. Victims, these are the people who has perpetrated the crime. So sila yung nabugbog, sila yung napatay. Those are victims, no? So the criminology program is envisioned to produce graduates who have the knowledge, the skills, attitude, and values in addressing the problem in criminality in the country, and the character and competence to meet the challenges of globalization in the field of criminology. So, hindi lang puro knowledge ang kaya ang dapat naming i-equip sa inyo once you enrolled in the university, you also need the skill. So kaya marami tayong laboratory activities, marksmanship, driving, and etc. Dito sa university before ka mag-graduate in criminology, kailangan fully equipped ka ng mga skills na yon. Attitude and values, that is very important, especially today, no? So, once you become a law enforcement officer, hindi lang dapat magaling ka. You should be able to follow the attitude and values set forth for a law enforcement officer. Kasi 'di ba, social media ang dami nating nakikita sa mga pulis, corruption, patayan and etc. These are true, yes, but take note that you should not generalize. That is because hindi lahat ng pulis mali ang ginagawa. Parang tao lang, God. We cannot generalize a person according to his work or job. Kasi may mga tao pa rin mabubuti ang loob at ginagawa ng tama ang kanilang trabaho. And for sure, one day, once you enroll in criminology in our university, pag-graduate ninyo, you will have the core values of the university, the ethical standards for being a law enforcement officer, and you will be a competitive law enforcement professional wherever field or agency you wanted to be. So, these are the program goals of criminology: to encourage research and inquiry on the nature, causes, treatment, and punishment of criminal behavior, and how criminal justice agencies function and respond to crime, criminals, and victims. Because in criminology, hindi lang tayo puro pag-aaral about kung ano ang mga crime na nangyayari sa ating bansa. Kailangan din nating malaman ano ang mga rason bakit ang tao nakaka-commit ng crime, ano yung kanyang mga rason, and kung malaman natin ang mga rason na yon, we need to find a treatment for that person. So for him to be rehabilitated and become a better person in the future. So in first year pa lang, meron na tayong introduction to criminology where we have many theories that explains why a person tends to commit a crime. So in that way, we will be able to understand that people are committing crime not just because they wanted to commit crime, but they have reasons for it. Kaya yung theories na yon ang susuporta doon sa mga criminals, no? Prepare the students for careers in crime prevention, law enforcement, scientific crime detection rather, correctional administration, public safety, and allied fields. And of course, to foster the values of leadership, integrity, accountability, and responsibility while serving their fellow men, community, and country. The values of leadership. Because the ratio of a law enforcement officer, particularly a police officer, is 1:100. That's ideal, no? But because the Philippines is overpopulated, the ratio is 1 police officer to 1,000 people living in a community. So imagine becoming a leader of 1,000 people in a community. So dito, in our college, we will train you how to become an effective leader with integrity, accountability, and of course, responsibility. So what are the career, occupations, and job opportunities of becoming a criminologist? So number 1, criminological research. So in criminological research, this usually applies to people who are engaged in higher degree programs. For example, pag nag-BS criminology ka, we have a master's degree in criminology and a doctor's degree in criminology. So these people, especially academicians, they try to make the best researches about criminology for them to be able to give solutions to criminological problems in our society. So you can be one of those researchers. especially if you love writing, if you are that passionate enough to solve cases in the society. Next, scientific crime detection and investigation. As as you can see in the screen, these are real police officers in their SOCO uniform trying to document a certain crime scene. So this is called crime scene processing. Sa NBI class, National Bureau of Investigation, meron din silang set of people to do scientific crime detection and investigation. They have laboratories. So later, kung part ka na ng OJT ng criminology, pupunta kayo din sa crime laboratory for this experience, no? So nung kami dati, interns kami, because I am a proud graduate of the University of Mindanao. So nung kami napunta sa mga agencies na ganyan, nakakita talaga kami ng kung paano ang crime scene processing, kung paano ang ginagawa nila sa fingerprinting na nakikita namin dito pag nagda-discuss kami. So it's very, very interesting. So if right now you are excited, dito pa lang na slide, then dugong criminology yan. Okay? Next. Crime prevention, of course. I have 3 logos here representing crime prevention, pero marami pang agencies in the government of the Philippines for crime prevention. So first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, this is the primary law enforcement of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police. Okay? So maraming question. Ma'am, ano po ang SAF? Iba ba ang SAF sa PNP? So the answer is no. Ang SAF, part ng PNP. Ma'am, ang SOCO ay part din ng PNP agency. Ang CIDG ay part din ng PNP. So another logo is the National Bureau of Investigation. So you can be an agent in NBI here too. So kailangan magaling ka academically, tapos magaling ka pa sa investigation. Security officer. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know this, no? If you graduate in criminology and become a licensed criminologist, you can put up your own security agency or you can apply as a security officer. Ang laki kaya ng sahod ng security officer. Alam nyo ba yon? Sa Abriza alone, meron kaming graduates na nasa Abriza, security officer sila, ang lalaki ng sahod nila. It's like 35 to 40,000 per month. Hindi pa kasali dyan ang mga sasakyan na binibigay sa kanila for their work, no? So may issued sasakyan sila, may mga baril din, and etc. Okay. So if you have questions later, you may put it in our chat box pa yun, or the question box. Next is law enforcement. So bakit pa ulit-ulit si PNP? Kasi nga lahat ng field na pwedeng mapuntahan ng law enforcement, andyan si PNP kasi nga siya yung primary law enforcement agency in the Philippines. So here we have 5. Among more than 10 law enforcement agencies in the Philippines, this is the top 5 law enforcement agencies. So, na-explain ko na si PNP, na-explain ko na si NBI. Dito tayo ngayon sa Department of Finance, Bureau of Customs. Ma'am, pwede pala kami dyan? Of course, pwede kayo dyan. Ang function ni Bureau of Customs as criminologist is to detect whether or not may mga illegal contrabands na pinapasok at nilalabas dito sa ating bansa. Okay? PDEA. Of course, you have heard PDEA already. PDEA is under the Dangerous Drugs Board, which is under the Office of the President. They enforce the law of Republic Act 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act. So, if you wanted to be a criminology student of the University of Mindanao, ngayon pa lang, kailangan magbasa na kayo about laws, Republic Acts, whether it be special laws, and other forms of laws na meron ng ating bansa. Kasi, kailangan natin, yun yung ating fundamentals eh. whenever we discuss, papasok tayo sa kung ano-anong batas sa Pilipinas. Another thing is the PDEA. So ang ginagawa nila dito sa PDEA is of course to enforce the Republic Act 9165. Kaya nakakakita tayo ng buy-bust operations, nakikipagpatayan talaga sila because of drug lords and etc. No? And PDEA is a separate agency from PNP. Hindi sila isa lang, hindi sila bukod, magkaiba sila. One of the top 5 law enforcement agencies in the Philippines is the Bureau of Immigration. So ma'am, bakit Bureau of Immigration? Because as criminologists, our duty in the Bureau of Immigration is to investigate, of course, if there are illegal immigrants or kailangan ma-deport na mga tao na nandito sa ating bansa or yung gustong lumabas ng bansa, hindi kompleto ang papers niya or illegal yung mga papers niya, that is a crime, that is human trafficking. So no. So dyan papasok si Bureau of Immigration with the help of Philippine National Police. Okay? So another is correctional administration. So in correctional administration, we have 3 primary agencies. We have the Bureau of Jail Management and Criminology, we have Department of Justice, the Bureau of Corrections, and the Parole and Probation Administration. Ang BJMP class, for example, dito sa Davao City, meron tayo dyan sa MAA, the MAA City Jail. Okay? This caters people waiting for trial and for people who have given their final verdict pero ang penalty nila is 3 years and below. So dyan sila ipapasok sa MAA City Jail. However, itong Bureau of Corrections naman, ang pinaka-best example ko nito sa inyo is yung nasa Panabo, the Davao Penal Colony or the DAPICOL. If you are given your final verdict and your penalty is 3 days and 1 day to lifetime imprisonment, doon ka ipapasok sa Bureau of Corrections sa DAPICOL dito sa Davao City. By the way, we have more than 6 Bureau of Corrections facility in the Philippines. No, may National Bilibid Prison, Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm, and etc. And another thing is the Parole and Probation Administration. So, ang Parole and Probation Administration is still under Department of Justice. Ang purpose nila is that these criminologists are the people who try to supervise yung mga taong pinalabas because of parole and executive clemency. Di ba naririnig natin yan sa mga movies? Lalabas na ako bukas, makikita ako ng aking family kasi binigyan ako ng parole. So nung bata ako, ang akala ko parole ibibigay yung Christmas star talaga. But that's not the point, no? So parole is given to a person kapag nakitaan nila ng magandang pag-uugali while nasa loob. So isi-serve niya the rest of the sentence niya outside the correctional facility, pero ang magsusupervise is the parole and probation officer. So you can be that one someday, no? So this is very exciting because you go to the place, you talk to the person. And by the way, in the Philippines, we are not very focused on punishment, but rehabilitation. Okay? Next is public safety. So I have 4 logo of agencies here. Pero do not limit yourself on these 4 logos ha. Ito lang yung pinaka primary agencies na pwede nyo mapuntahan. Pero ang dami-dami pa. I tell you, do not limit yourself into PNP alone. So we have the first image, that's the logo of the Bureau of Fire Protection. Yun sila naka-orange. Alam nyo ba or nafe-feel nyo ba yung kagaya sa akin na kapag may sunog somewhere, nakakakita ako ng fire truck, nasa taas yung mga fire officers, and it feels like nanonood ako ng Avengers and they are the heroes of it. So if you feel that way, then therefore, dugong criminology yan. Okay? So Philippine Coast Guard. So Philippine Coast Guard naman, sila yung tagabantay ng ating karagatan. No? Ang laki din ng sahod sa Coast Guard. Naka-orange din sila, mga uniforms nila. Next logo is actually Armed Forces of the Philippines. Sa AFP naman, you can be admitted kahit high school graduate pa lang. But if you wanted to become an officer of AFP, graduate ka muna ng criminology. Criminologist ka, then ang entry level mo is official na. Okay? So pwede yun. Ang laki ng sahod pag official ka na sa AFP. And of course, the famous Land Transportation Office. So public safety ang Land Transportation Office kasi 'di ba? They enforce the law of traffic rules and the violations. So pwede kayo dyan sa LTO. Ang daming graduate ng University of Mindanao in all the agencies that I have been mentioning to you. Pag nag-apply pa lang kayo dito sa mga agencies na to, and nakalagay is University of Mindanao, hindi sa pagmamayabang, pero they will see something in you, that aura that you are a graduate of our college in the University of Mindanao. So the priority is in you. But then of course, kailangan pa rin ng maayos na pagsagot. Sabi nga ni Sir Ray kanina sa kanyang lecture. Security management. So as I've mentioned earlier, you can be a security officer or you can establish your own security agency. Another thing is the logo of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Ang laki ng sahod dyan, ladies and gentlemen. And totoo yung kada buwan meron silang isang sakong bigas. So that thing alone is a very big deal, no? Kung ikaw ay malakas kumain ng bigas. And kidding aside, ang sahod nila malaki din. Pero medyo risky ang work kasi nga pabantayan mo ang pera ng Pilipinas and all. Pero that's part of everything. Kahit ano naman kasi ang pasukin nating law enforcement agency, the danger is in there. Kahit nga wala tayong trabaho, naglalakad ka lang, nasagasaan ka, that's still danger. Diba? So danger is everywhere. All you have to do is to choose kung ano ang path na gusto mo. Criminalistics, okay? Ayaw mo maging police, gusto mo lang is private individual ka, but you are very good in these things, no? You can become a QD examiner. You can make your own office as QD examiner. Pwedeng magpunta sa'yo ang mga tao. And malaki ang pera sa question document examination kasi nga ang dami ngayon falsification of documents and etc. So pwedeng private practice ka na QD examiner. You can create your own detective agency. Kung business-minded ka pero dugong criminology ka, you can create a detective agency and hire people. Ikaw ang CEO. Yan. Pwede ka ding private polygraph examiner. And by the way, dito sa college namin, no, sa CCJE, all the faculty members are sent to Cebu to specialize criminalistics. I, for myself, have been there, and my specialization is ballistics. So ballistics, baril, bala, paano pagpaputok, paano ang investigation, ganun. And the University of Mindanao is sponsoring us for that. Okay, and you can be an academician. Academician like me. I am not connected to any law enforcement agency as an employee, but I am an academician. It's more of me producing criminology graduates. Ayun. So, for sure, kilala niyo yung nasa tao dyan. Gusto ko sana ilagay yung picture ko, pero parang vain na ako masyado if I do so. So, wag na lang. So, you can be an academician. If you love talking, if you love sharing, if you love inspiring people, especially students, then be an academician. So, let's move to the College of Criminal Justice Education. This is the logo of the college. Ayan, we have the laurel leaves and etc. So the College of Criminal Justice Education is the premier and the biggest criminology school in Davao. Take note. It is the first criminology school in Mindanao, granted level 3 accreditation by PACOCOA and awarded by CHED as Center of Excellence, no? So bihira lang ang isang college na maging Center of Excellence, but because of the efforts, the joint efforts of the faculty members and in the administration, naging Center of Excellence ang College of Criminal Justice Education ng University of Mindanao. Hindi lahat nabibigyan ng ganyang award. It has produced the region's top-notchers in the criminologist licensure examination. That's what I always say on the first day of the class. Class, you have to aim to top the board examination. Yun, do not set yourself low. Dapat iset mo ang sarili mo sa pinakamataas na pwede mong ma-attain sa board examination. That way, you are driven. So, Bachelor of Science in Criminology, as I've said earlier, is level 3 accredited by PACOCOA and is awarded Center of Excellence by CHED. We have 20. We have 21 members, including me. I'm sorry for that. Next, is, we have 11 full. Ten part-time faculty members. We have 5 doctors of philosophy in criminal justice. We have 7 master's degree in criminology. We have 4 ongoing doctor's degree in criminology. We have 4 ongoing masters in criminology and 2 lawyers, no? So these lawyers are also criminology graduates who pursued law. So kapag graduate ka kasi ng criminology, equipped ka na with the law and the policies of the Philippines. So marami ding graduates ng criminology nagpo-proceed ng law and they become criminal lawyer. The program educational outcomes, so the PEOs of the college, we have first to demonstrate competence in research and inquiry on the nature, causes, treatment, or punishment of criminal behavior, and how criminal justice agencies function and respond to crime, criminals, and victims. Another is that to practice knowledge and skills in crime prevention, law enforcement, scientific crime detection, correctional administration, public safety, and allied fields. And lastly, to manifest the values of leadership, integrity, accountability, and responsibility while serving their fellow men, community, and country. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the college performance for first-time takers. So, ayan, no? In the November 2019 board examination, ang national passing rate, yan yung sineset ng PRC na kailangang ma-attain ng isang school. So the national passing rate is 55.54%. And take note, ang rate ng University of Mindanao is 99.40%. That means if we have 200 takers, only one failed to pass the board examination. And this time, noong November 2019, hindi siya actually nag-take ng examination. Gusto niyang ma-withdraw ang kanyang application kasi busy siya masyado. Pero yun, hindi niya officially na-withdraw, then hindi kami naka 100%. June 2019, 54% lang ang national passing rate, but University of Mindanao's performance is 91.49%. You see, sa dami nagtitake ng board exam, dito sa college, mas marami ang pumapasa, way higher compared sa nababagsak. Meron at merong mababagsak because of reasons like family problem, mga ganun. But then we have a program here na kapag bumagsak ka, sa next take mo ng board examination, free ka na of charge for the review just for you to be able to pass the board exam. Pinaalalayan pa rin nila at hindi namin sila pinapabayaan. And the rest follow. So, these are the top notchers of the college since 2010 to 2019. So we have Mr. Arfe June Mosquera, first placer, April 2015 Criminologist Licensure Examination. Take note, hindi lang siya top 1. He received 500,000 pesos from the University of Mindanao. Yes, you heard it right. 500,000 pesos. Next to him is Mr. Joel Cueme. Si Sir Joel Cueme, second placer, ang natanggap. And he is a security guard of the university, no? But then he landed second place in the board examination. Isn't that amazing? Poverty is not a hindrance to success. All you have to do is to drive yourself in positivity. Mr. Philip Pendang, third placer. Mr. Ariel Olnagan, fifth placer. We have Mr. Jomar Cervantes, seventh placer, which is also a faculty currently in our college. Miss Cherife Espana, seventh placer din noong 2018, and currently a faculty member of the college in this university, of course. Mr. Amir Esam Ibrahim, eighth placer siya noong 2016. Siya ngayon ay nag-aaral ng law sa University of Mindanao pa rin. Enrolled siya sa College of Law. We have Miss Charlotte Manatad, 10th placer, and Miss Judith Hart Aquino, 10th placer din siya. So you see, one day, after enrolling in the university 4 years from now, you will be part of the legion of top-notchers in the College of Criminal Justice Education. So these are the 6 subject areas in criminology program. We have criminal jurisprudence and procedure, criminalistics, law enforcement administration, crime detection and investigation, correctional administration, and criminal sociology and ethics. So, in criminal jurisprudence and procedure, there are 6 subjects. So, ito yung tinuturo na. So, first is criminal law, book 1, book 2, special laws, criminal procedure, evidence, and court testimony. Ang magtuturo sa inyo nito ay mga lawyers. So, may bit-bit kayo nito, mukha siyang Bible. It's the Criminology Bible. It's the Revised Penal Code of the Philippines. So, kailangan mabasa mo siya from first page to the last page. Nandun lahat ng law, except for special laws. Okay? So, may dala yan silang index card. And then, you know, it's very challenging. No? Okay, next. This is for me, the best aspect, no, or section in criminology subjects, the criminalistics. So we have forensic photography. So forensic photography, we will discuss about the fundamentals of camera, how is it taken, what are the legal aspects of taking pictures in crime scene, what is the crime scene procedure in camera, and etc. Take note, we have the best laboratory for forensic photography here. We develop yung film noong unang panahon, yan po yung ginagamit for developing. At ikaw na estudyante, isa-isa kayong magde-develop ng sarili nyong nakuhang picture from the outside. We have all the equipment that you need for you to be able to develop your own image. So number 2 is personal identification. The other term for personal identification is dactyloscopy. Dactyloscopy rather. So ito yung time na pag-aaralan natin and we appreciate the importance of our fingerprints. Okay? So marami actually parts ang ating fingerprint. May core pa yan, may delta pa yan, and etc. Because we believe still in the Philippines that personal identification or dactyloscopy is very important. Why? No two individuals have the same fingerprint, even twins. Okay? So practice pa rin siya sa Philippines. We also have a big laboratory with all the equipment needed for personal identification. Next is legal medicine. So in legal medicine, we study about autopsy, yung anong ginagawa in the examination of a dead body, paano siya i-open, ano ang tamang hiwa with the assistance of a pathologist, no? So, anong meron sa loob? We try to see and weight. For example, ano ang regular na weight ng heart? So, kapag iba yung kanyang weight compared doon sa kung ano yung regular, there is something in our heart. Okay? The purpose of autopsy is to determine the cause of death of the person. So, marami pa yan about traumas, about slices, yung mga stab wounds, kahit anong klase ng wound. Meron pang virginity and defloration and all other aspects of science in relation to criminology. So, see? This time pa lang, for sure you'll be challenged. No? And I love all the subjects here. Meron pa tayong polygraphy. So, in polygraphy, ang layman's term nito is lie detection. So, kung nakakita na kayo ng mga movies with polygraphy, yan yung may mga attachments, the pneumograph components dito sa katawan ng tao to check whether or not there are changes in the physiological aspect of the person. But polygraphy really cannot detect a person if he is lying or not. It records the physiological changes of the person. And in our separate laboratory for polygraph examination, we have 5 polygraph machine. The 2 polygraph machine are manual polygraph machine. Yan yung manual pa, yung mga nung unang panahon pa. Those are Lafayette's manufacturers. We have 1 Lafayette computerized polygraph machine. Ang gamit na dyan ay laptop. Iko-connect na lang yung mga wires sa laptop. Tapos sa screen na lang yung mga chart tracing. And we have new 2 polygraph machine from Stolting Company in the US. Nung binili ng college yung 2 polygraph machine, pinadala kami personally doon sa Manila to have the training, no, and specialization in polygraphy. Ang speaker ng aming training is none other than the CEO of the Stolting Company in the US. Pumunta talaga siya sa Philippines just for us to be able to be explained and be trained with the polygraph machine. And kung nandito na kayo during that time, 2 years from now or 3 years from now, enrolled na kayo niyan dito, 3rd year kasi yan nangyayari, isa-isa kayong magiging polygraph examiner, isa-isa nyo ding ma-experience paano maging subject and be questioned with polygraph machine. No? So that's very exciting. Forensic ballistics, this is my expertise. In forensic ballistics, we study projectile, mga bala, baril, at kung ano-ano pa in terms of forensic ballistics. Meron akong activity sa forensic ballistics, long quiz siya, pero you have to assemble and disassemble a firearm. The lower, the shorter the time, the bigger the grade. And ang galing-galing ng mga estudyante. Ang mga babae, mas mabilis silang assemble and disassemble ng firearm. I don't know why, pero marami pa ring lalaki din ang magaling sa baril at bala. No? So, question documents examination. Dito naman sa question document examination, we study forgery, plagiarized documents, and etc. Yung mga signatures ng tao. Because in question document examination, you yourself cannot copy the exact facsimile of your signature. You alone cannot copy the exact facsimile of your signature. Ang dami nating activities for question documents examination. And again, we have a separate laboratory for that. Ang ating laboratory, binibisita pa siya minsan ng SOCO team at ng kung ano-anong samot-saring criminology schools all over the Philippines, ha? because ang ating laboratory, crime laboratory dito sa university is one of the best and the finest, and kumpleto siya ng mga equipment. So these are sample images of students doing their image developing sa forensic photography. Ayan, this is on question document examination. Kailangan lang pag pumapasok sa laboratory, naka-lab gown talaga. That is a strict compliance. Ayan, meron tayong bullet recovery box sa loob ng laboratory ng ballistics where we can do firing indoor. Ganyan. So pag nag-firing ka, after nyan, kailangan mong ma-retrieve yung bullet, and then we check the bullet on a bullet comparison microscope to check whether or not tama ang kanyang markings doon sa baril na ginamit. And that is part of investigation. Ayan, this is the bullet comparison microscope. Yan yung luma. Meron na tayong latest niyan, kagaya nung nasa Soko Crime Laboratory. Ito, estudyante making forged documents. Ganyan. This is polygraph examination. Ang gamit nila dito is yung manual polygraph machine pa. Hindi ito yung computerized polygraph machine. Ganito ang itsura ng manual polygraph machine. And then the assembling and disassembling of firearm, which I find very exciting and interesting. So, let's move to law enforcement administration. So in law enforcement administration, we have 6 subjects for that matter. We have police organization and administration with police planning. We have police patrol operation. We have police intelligence. We have police personnel and records management, comparative police system, and industrial security management. It's all about law enforcement, no? So how will you be able to become an effective police officer in the community? Sa patrol operation, yung police omnipresence, di ba? In Davao City, you can see police officers in the streets. Almost every street may police officer. So that is called police omnipresence. One program in the prevention of crime. Kasi whenever we see a police officer, we tend to stop or attempt to commit a crime kasi may police. Ganon. In crime detection and investigation, we have the fundamentals in criminal investigation. We have special crime, organized crime investigation. We have fire technology and arson investigation, traffic management and accident investigation, drug education and vice control. Ayan. Fundamentals of cybercrime and environmental crime investigation. Number 6 and number 7 ay mga bagong courses dito sa crime detection and investigation. Kahit kami, nung college kami, wala pang ganyan. Pero nowadays, because of globalization, nadagdag na ang fundamentals of cybercrime and environmental crime. But don't you worry, because 3 years ago pa lang, hindi pa nadagdag yan officially. The faculty of the University of Mindanao were already trained by the United States Department of Justice and the United States USAID for the cybercrime and for environmental crime investigation. I myself is a recipient of the trainings and seminars of US DOJ and USAID. Tapos pupunta pa kami sa Manila, sa Visayas and all. And to the point na ginagalingan ko yung seminar ko, to the point na ako nang nagiging sinya, may minsan nang ako ang nagiging speaker din. So that way you will know that faculty in the university are really efficient, no, as academicians. So these are samples of pictures ng mga estudyante na undergoing criminal investigation subjects nila. So ang final requirement nila is to make a crime scene of their own. Tapos merong sketcher, photographer, and etc. May team leader and all, ganon. Ayan, yung uniform nila. That is the shirt. Ginatry pa nilang gumawa ng crime scene. This is the actual crime scene. Ito, hindi ito patay, yung nakahiga dyan, hindi yan patay. That is their groupmate. And yan yung role niya sa final requirement, ang maging patay. So kailangan tulog siya during that time. Bawal tumawa kasi wala namang patay na tumatawa. So kailangan niya talagang pigilan ang tawa niya. Kasi pag hindi, ayun, hindi na magiging mataas ang grade nila. Ayan. This is an example of evidence bag. Ganito ang tamang pagko-collect ng evidence. May evidence number, may pirma, at kung may date, and dapat sealed talaga siya. So this is done in the crime scene room. Meron din tayong crime scene room. Mukha siyang bahay na pwedeng doon gawin ang crime scene ng rape, murder, homicide, and etc. So, ito yung mga evidences, ito yung kanilang case number, name ng victim at date. Ayan, may mga tsinelas and all. So, this is okay, yeah. So, shorten ko lang yun. That is a sample output of one of the groups ng mga estudyante ko in CDI 1, so the Criminal Detection and Investigation. Marami ako niyan. Hindi ko lang pwede i-highlight lahat kasi maabutan tayo ng 1 week kapag pinakita ko pa siya lahat. Okay? So, in correctional administration, we also have institutional correction and non-institutional correction. Okay? These are two subjects under correctional administration. Ang purpose ng institutional correction ay ang pag-usapan at malaman ang purpose ng BJMP and Bureau of Correction, Rehabilitation Program, paano ang pagpasok ng inmate doon sa loob, ano ang color ng kanilang mga damit, ano ang kanilang kinakain, saan galing ang budget, and etc. Ganon sa institutional correction. And we've been there ourselves. I've been an intern, tapos nung faculty na ako, pumapasok kami sa Bureau of Correction and sa BJMP, no? Iba ang babae, iba ang lalaki. So one day you can be a jail officer there. Sa non-institutional correction naman, ang pinag-uusapan ay parole and executive clemency. So ito yung sabi ko nga, na pwede nang hindi mo tapusin ang iyong penalty inside, lalabas ka, pero merong boards of pardons and parole to give you the supervision para hindi ka pa rin mawala sa iyong landas. So, criminal sociology and ethics, it is the 5th of the 6 components in criminology subjects. Meron tayong introduction to criminology and psychology of crime. So, in criminology class, may psychology din siya. Kailangan turo dito kung paano mag-isip ang tao. Paano ka nag-i-invite ng tao para mag-commit siya ng crime. So, pag nalaman mo yan, hindi mo na yun gagawin para hindi ka maging victim ng crime. We have the Philippine criminal justice system. So, the Philippine criminal justice system is composed of 5 pillars: law enforcement, prosecution, court, the correction, and of course, the community. We have ethics and values, which is very needed if you want to become a law enforcement officer. We have juvenile delinquency and crime prevention. So, Republic Act 9344 for that matter. So, yung children's welfare and etc. We have the human behavior and crisis management. Ito yung pag may mga hostage taking, ano dapat ang ginagawa ng police officers and other related law enforcement agencies. Noon, then human behavior. We will talk about id ego and super ego and the rest of the theories. Tapos kung ano talaga yung actual na ginagawa. Kasi kapag police ka na, may training, oo, pero big impact kung ang foundation mo maganda na. Okay? We also have criminological research and statistics. Kaya meron tayong thesis writing in criminology. You will become researchers. So, etong defense tactics, hindi siya part ng 6 areas. Pero, ang defense tactics, ito yung counterpart ng physical education sa other courses. Sa criminology lang ang may defense tactics, no? So, may mga martial artists dyan, alam nyo na. So, we have DefTac 1, Fundamentals of Martial Arts. So, DefTac 1 pa lang natin class, meron tayong 2 martial arts na pwede nyong pagpilian. We have the Judo and the Taekwondo. And take note, the faculty members handling Judo and Taekwondo are black belters. Isa dyan si Sir Berko, yung next speaker ko. He is a black belter. National player siya and naging champion na siya and in all sorts of competitions. Naging best coach pa siya during tournaments kasi ang dami niyang mga, ang tawag nito, yung mga players, no, na dinadala din national, may minsan pang international talaga. Umaabot ang criminology students sa ibang bansa para lang sa taekwondo and judo. So, yeah, we also have DefTac 2, arnis and disarming techniques. Ito, masakit ito, konti sa katawan yung, alam nyo yung arnis, diba? And disarming techniques, ang na-experience namin dito is that yung malaki yung, meron tayong judo room and taekwondo room ha, malalaki yun, take note. Ang ma-experience mo dyan is kung paano mo protektahan ang sarili mo sa mga taong may hawak na balisong, kutsilyo, and etc. Disarming eh. So, ang ginagawa sa amin dati ni Sir Berko, at ni Ma'am Kapili, ilalagay nila yung kutsilyo sa gitna, pero yung kahoy lang na kutsilyo, tapos paunahan kayong makakuha ng kutsilyo. Kung hindi ka makakuha, ikaw magiging victim, ikaw yung tatagain, o ganun. So, grabe yung survival ba? Survival of the fittest sa criminology. We have DefTac 3, the first aid and water safety. Dito naman, malalaman ninyo kung ano ang gagawin sa mga times na kailangan nating mag-respond and become, hindi tayo nurses, no? But we can do first aid, no? Kapag nakagat siya ng snake, kailangan may tourniquet. Kapag nabali ang kanyang paa, ano ang kailangan gawin? May bandaging techniques yan. Water safety, swimming, survival. Jump ka sa isang diving board, tapos kailangan maabot mo yung dulo ng swimming pool para magkagrado ka. That way, you will survive. Pero don't worry because these are all safe techniques kasi nga meron tayong professional divers na nasa swimming pool na talaga. DefTac 4, Fundamentals of Marksmanship. So pag-uusapan dito is more on mga baril, bala pa rin, and you will really have your hands on firing. Sa firing range, during our time sa PNP training center talaga kami, nagpa-firing kami doon, 10 rounds, 20 rounds, and ganon. So that way, pag na-start mo na ang firing mo, mafe-feel mo yung happiness na hindi mo ma-achieve sa ibang bagay. Doon lang sa firing. And I really love firing. I hope you will too, no? And we have DefTac 5, defensive driving, no? Defensive driving. Defensive driving siya because you as a driver, you really have to be careful in driving, and kapag naging law enforcement officer ka na, dapat equipped ka with the knowledge on how to drive. Paano kung may i-rescue ka, tapos kailangan mong isakay sa sasakyan niya para madala mo sa ospital, hindi ka marunong mag-drive, hindi mo naman siya pwedeng buhatin papuntang ospital kasi malayo, baka mamatay siya on the way. So kailangan sana lang, ideal ang maging law enforcement officer kapag marunong ka ding mag-drive. So meron tayo lahat niyan dito sa College of Criminal Justice Education. So these are sample photos of students doing judo, martial arts. Yung nakapula yan si Ma'am Kapili. Ayan. Ayan. Wala na sila nagdumog ha. They are doing judo. And ang judo, pisikalan talaga yan. Throwing ba? Ganon. Kung ayaw mong ma-throw, ikaw mag-throw. Maning kamot yung ka, kaya kung di na, ikaw yung i-throw. Yan. Ito yung orientation nila. Ang dami no? Ang daming estudyante. Ito naman yung taekwondo. Ayan, may suot kang. It's more on kicks. Yan, kicks. Sipa-sipa. Ang hindi ko makalimutan dito, yung pinaspar ako ni Sir Berko sa isa niyang varsity. Tapos, gi-axe kick niya ako. Muntik ako makakita ng 10 star. But the experience was great, unforgettable experience. Ito yung bandaging. Ayan, ganyan, bandaging sa ulo kapag may head trauma, may mga dugo na lumalabas sa ulo kasi nahulog sa motor, and also ganyan ang bandaging. Firing. Ito yung example ng firing range na ginagamit. And that would be all. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation. So, Sir Glenn, tapos na po ako.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was interactive and informative. So
Really, thank you.
students were encouraged to enroll criminology program. Okay, I think we are good with your presentation, ma'am. We can now proceed to our next speaker.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Our next speaker is the OJT coordinator of the Criminal Justice Education, Professor Eduardo Berco, R. Crim and MS Crim. Welcome, sir, and good morning. Hello, sir. Parang nakamute.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Eduardo Berco Jr., the Interest Coordinator of the College of Criminology. So my task is to discuss on the programs and activities of practicum or on-the-job training. You know, practicum is one of the most exciting subject in the College of Criminology. You know why? Kasi sa wakas, maka-duty ka na sa police station, maka-duty ka na sa NBI and other government law enforcement agencies. So first, we will discuss first the competencies of internship. So ano ba yung dapat mong matutunan in your on-the-job training? So number one, ability to construct affidavit at complaints desks. You know, if you're assigned in the police station, there are different tasks in the police station. For example, assign ka sa traffic investigation, you'll be assigned at the investigation section, or you'll be assigned as a front desk officer or doon ka sa reception. Halimbawa, merong pumunta doon to file a complaint, file siya ng kaso for example, so gagawa ka ng affidavit of complaint. For example, merong report ng accident, so you have to do the blatter report. Okay. The second is exhibit knowledge, intelligence, and investigation. You know, majority of the site supervisor assigned as supervisor in the internship are investigators of the police station. Yung talagang mga magagaling na mga investigador na assigned sa mga interns to supervise their activities. So yung ginagawa ng mga supervisors, sinishare nila yung kanilang mga expertise and experiences. So yun ang makukuha ng mga interns in their exposure sa police station. Mamaya I'll be showing you the pictures regarding the programs and activities of the interns in their actual on-the-job training. So next is demonstrate skills in basic life support and first aid. This one is in the Bureau of Fire and Protection. Halimbawa, pag mayroong sunog, of course, mayroong victim. So paano natin i-save yung life ng team. So dapat meron tayong background in first aid training, basic life support training. Then the ability to use technology in online registration for clearance. Ito siya sa NBI o National Bureau of Investigation. Yung task ng mga interns doon is, for example, sila ang nag-assist sa mga applicant for NBI clearance. Okay? Sila yung nag-process, sila yung nag-encode ng mga application. Sila yung kumukuha ng fingerprint specimen ng mga applicant. Saka sila yung nag-release ng clearances ng mga applicant. Ang maganda kasi sa NBI is talagang gamit ang mga intern doon kasi kulang sila ng mga personnel. That's why, isang advantage ng interns kung naka-undergo ka ng internship sa NBI is madali ka nang makakuha ng NBI clearance if ever na mag-apply ka na kahit saan sa private or government agencies. Kasi nga, pag interns ka ng UM, pag meron kang ID na interns ka ng UM, automatic makapasok ka na kaagad. Hindi ka na magpila. Diretso ka na doon sa processing area para makuha mo na yung NBI clearance. Yun ang isang advantage ng criminology interns from UM. Then exhibit knowledge in anti-drug campaign. Ito siya sa PDEA or Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Isa sa mga task ng mga interns doon is to info dissemination or info drive. Okay, for example, pupunta siya sa mga school, halimbawa sa Davao City, sa Santa Ana High School, sa may Davao City High. Okay, doon nag-conduct ng information dissemination yung mga interns regarding the health effects of drugs. Okay, yung mga hindi magaganda na dulot ng drug addiction. So for awareness, yun ang ginagawa ng mga interns, info dissemination. Then demonstrate skills in traffic investigation. So sabi ko kanina sa police station, meron doong traffic na section. So wherein ang mga interns will learn how to conduct investigation, especially if merong vehicular accident. Okay, so our next topic is about values and skills. Okay, so ito yun siya yung part ng individual practicum evaluation, wherein at the end of your on-the-job training sa agency, you will be evaluated by your supervisors with this following evaluation tool. Okay, so number one is the professionalism. Okay, so knowledgeable, skillful, follows instruction, and respectful. And the punctuality, kailangan maaga ka mag-report sa duty. Then job maturity, positive work, disposition. Kasi sometimes mong good ang estudyante, halimbawa, chismosa, in the police station kasi, halimbawa, may pumunta doon, victim siya ng, halimbawa, rape, okay, kaagad, chismis kaagad ng mga estudyante. So if you are already an intern, kailangan matured ka na at your given tasks. Communication skills, that's why before deployment in our partner industry, meron tayong written and oral communication examination. Okay, and then productivity, work efficient, effectiveness, accomplishment, satisfactory outputs. So, kung pinagawa ka ng blatter, kailangan magaling ka magawa at sa katama yung ginawa mo na blatter. Gagawa ka ng affidavit of complaint, yung first aid mo na demonstration, kailangan tama at saka magaling ka mag-perform. Leadership, okay, takes initiative, provides direction in a group. Then we have the 4 core values of the University of Mindanao: the excellence, the honesty and integrity, innovation, and work. Okay. So let's now proceed to our partner industry, our host training establishment. Okay, so meron tayong 7 na partner industries. Okay, so law enforcement industries lahat, puro lahat government, wala tayong ST is a private na agency. So majority of our partner industry are in the law enforcement agency. So number 1 dito is ang Davao City Police Office or DCPO. Okay, so in DCPO meron tayong 9 partner police station. So siyam police station yung pagjutihan ng mga interns or student interns. So number 1 is Santa Ana Police Station. San Pedro, di Talumo, di Tugbok, di Kalinan, di Police Station, di Buhangin, Sa, and di Bunawan Police Station. Okay, for example, shall we say, merong 100 student interns enrolled ngayong SEM, for example. Okay, so you will be assigned in 9 different police stations. So i-grupo ko kayo, halimbawa 11 per group, tapos i-assign ko kayo per station. Halimbawa, taga Davao City ka, okay? Taga roon ka sa Manakan area or Tibungko, okay? Or even as far as Panabo or Bunawan. So you'll be assigned in Bunawan Police Station. Halimbawa, taga downtown ka, dito ka sa Bonifacio Street. So your assignment will be in San Pedro Police Station. Or you're living in Kalinan, Marilog District. So your assignment will be in Kalinan Police Station. Or taga doon sa Turil, okay, taga halimbawa doon ka sa may malapit sa Digos. Okay, so as far as yung part na doon sa papunta ng Davao City, so you'll be assigned in Turil Police Station. So yun siya ang assignment sa mga police station. Okay, so I'll be showing you the activities of the interns during their internship in the police station. So in picture number 1, doon sa my front desk together with their site supervisor. Okay, so yung other picture, yung babae, okay, doon sa front desk, gumagawa ng blatter, gumagawa ng affidavit. So, iba kasi yung assignment ng mga babae sa police station, pero kasi tayong women's desk doon sa police station, wherein sila ang nag-cater na mga complaints na galing sa yung mga victims is yung mga babae. So, ang mga babae na mga interns doon ma-assign sa women's desk, din yung lalaki doon sa front desk. Then, other picture, yung investigator conducting discussion about criminal investigation. In the other picture, Corporal Ibdaw, they discuss about the vehicular accident. This is about traffic investigation. Okay, so yun siya ang mga activities ng mga interns in the Davao City Police Office. Another picture is yung recreation ng mga interns. Itong pinakamaganda kasi you will have a chance to have a bonding with police personnel. Okay, meron kayong sports activities. Ang sarap sa feeling na makalaro kayo na yung mga kalaro niyo is yung mga talagang member ng PNP. Okay, no? Yung mga police personnel in your respective na police station. Saan ka na-assign kasi majority kasi in Davao City, majority ng mga police station mayroong basketball court. Okay, kasi nga dapat mahilig tayo sa sports, di ba? So that's why meron silang culmination activity wherein yung mga interns makalaro kasama yung mga police personnel sa police station. Okay? So our next partner industry or hosting establishment is the Bureau of Fire and Protection. So again, sa lahat ng mga partner industry natin, meron tayong MOA or Memorandum of Agreement. So ano yung activity sa Bureau of Fire? Medyo exciting ito. Okay, kasi nga ang daming activity na ginagawa doon sa Bureau of Fire and Protection. So picture number 1, okay, they are practicing how to tie a knot. Okay, paano sila magtali. Okay, in preparation for picture number 2, yung rappelling or mag-rappel. Okay, kasi nga, for example, high-rise building na sunog. So ano yung pinaka-the best way na makalabas doon sa high-rise building? Halimbawa, nasira yung escalator, nasira yung elevator. The best thing to do is to rappel. Okay? Doon ka sa labas, doon ka sa gilid magdaan through rappelling. So individual yan ha. If you would like to join the Bureau of Fire na organization or even sa internship ninyo, talagang maka-experience kayo ng rappelling, individual talaga, wala exemption, kailangan mag-perform talaga individual. Then another one is you will be trained about basic life support or first aid. Kasi nga normal naman pag mayroong sunog, talagang mayroong victim, di ba? So una muna yung life before yung property. That's why kailangan din expert ka sa first aid. As our first speaker mentioned, si Mang Ruela, sinabi niya, meron tayong death factory, wherein you will be trained how to do the first aid. Okay, so meron tayong first aid and swimming in our factory. So pagdating mo doon sa Bureau of Fire, marunong ka na kasi sa ating college, sa ating curriculum, meron tayong first aid na subject. Okay? The throwing of hose and then the wet training. Okay? So paano mo i-handle yung hose, okay? O yung nozzle, okay? Para mag-suppress ng fire. Okay? So yun siya ang activity sa Bureau of Fire and Protection. Okay. Next, partner industry is the National Bureau of Investigation. As I mentioned a while ago, okay, to assist clients in the application for NBI clearance, either domestic man yan siya or for abroad, international. So, kailangan sila magkuha ng clearance. So, yung intern na assign sa gate, yung intern kumukuha ng application, yung intern ang tumatawag ng mga attention ng mga applicant para magpunta doon sa computer para magkuha ng photo at saka magkuha ng fingerprint specimen. And then the releasing of clearances for applicant. Sabi ko, kung intern ka ng internship ka sa NBI, ikaw na naman ang kukuha ng NBI clearance, okay? So easy access kasi hindi ka na kailangan magpila, hindi ka na kailangan dusa sa labas na ang init doon tapos ang daming aplikante. Yung interns na galing ng automatic makapasok na at saka makakuha na kaagad ng clearance pag naka-duty ka doon sa NBI. Okay, so our next partner industry, the Bureau of Jail Management and Criminology or BGMP. So if you look at the picture, puro lahat mga group picture, wala silang mga activity kasi nga bawal mag-picture doon sa loob ng facility kasi nga confidential yung mga tao doon, confidential yung personality ng mga tao doon, bawal po na ng picture. But if you look at picture number 1, meron silang mga awards, meron certificate of commendation yung mga intern. Kasi nga, for example, when you do your internship sa BGMP, you will be assigned in different areas. Halimbawa, na-assign ka sa gate, doon ka sa may inspection area. Ikaw nag-inspect halimbawa ng visitor, may dala siya halimbawa na bag, nakita mo doon, meron palang shabu, meron palang mga kontraband, merong armas, merong baril, merong weapon. So, i-turn over mo yan sa site supervisor, tapos you'll be given commendation or other activities. Halimbawa, meron silang Operation Greyhound. Okay, wherein yung mga inmates, yung mga PDL or person deprived of liberty, palabasin mo sa selda nila, tapos papasok yung mga intern para i-check yung mga gamit. Baka mayroong kontrabando doon. May nakita kayo doon ng mga playing cards. Bawal ang playing card doon, di ba? Bawal yung mga gadgets, for example, cellphones. So nakita ng mga interns. So achievement na naman yun. So that's why they were given commendation or awards during the culmination activity. And then in the Davao City Jail or Maa City Jail, there are 3 facilities, okay, in that facilities. So meron tayong Davao City Jail Main. We have also the Davao City Jail Annex and then the Davao City Female Jail. In the Davao City Main, doon detain yung mga high-profile inmates, okay, at saka yung mga high-risk. Halimbawa, yung mga Abu Sayyaf member, okay, halimbawa, yung mga ex-policemen, okay, yung mga ex-military, okay, doon sila na-detain sa Davao City Jail Main. Okay, then, meron tayong Davao City Jail Annex. Okay, doon kina-detain yung mga halimbawa, yung mga kunti lang ang kasalanan, yung mga minor offense lang. Okay, for example, yung merong mga yung mga senior citizens, okay? At saka yung mga merong sickness or illnesses, okay? Doon sila gina-confine sa Davao City Jail Annex. Then, separate din ang facility ng mga babae. Okay? Doon sila sa Davao City Female Facility. Okay? So, halimbawa, assignment nyo sa Davao City Jail, yung lalaki will be divided into 2 groups. Isang grupo doon sa my City Jail Main, isang grupo doon sa City Jail Annex. Of course, lahat ng babae will be assigned at the Davao City Jail Female Facility. Okay? Kasi bawal kasi ang babae mag-duty doon sa facility ng mga lalaki. At saka ang mga lalaki, bawal din i-assign sa facility ng mga babae. Okay, so yun siya ang Bureau of Jail Punishment and Penology. Okay, so let's now proceed to our community partner. You know, ang title kasi ng practicum is On the Job Training and Community Immersion. And that's why we have our dalawang partner na barangay sa ating community immersion. Ang good news nito, ang good thing nito is Barangay Sinisdas A in Bukana and Barangay Maa, their barangay captains were also a registered criminologists. Okay, mga criminologists gihapon ang ilang mga kapitan, dalawa sila. Okay, tapos they are also a former policeman, retired policeman. Okay, ako, I belong to Barangay Sinisdas A sa Bukana. Yung kapitan namin dito, si Barangay Captain Orlando Trajera Jr. Okay, so isa siyang retired policeman with the rank of a police sergeant. So after his retirement, kasi nga maganda ang record niya, maganda yung kanyang performance as policeman, tumakbo siya na kapitan sa barangay namin, so nanalo. Okay? So after pala sa profession mo, meron ka pa palang future, di ba? Okay, then Barangay Maa, si Barangay Captain Pasito Cañete Jr., okay, isa ring retired policeman with the rank of police captain. Okay, of course, one rank higher man yan pag mag-retire ka sa police major. Okay, so after his retirement, tumakbo siya ng kapitan, so nanalo siya because of his good track record. Yun ang kagandahan ng mga pulis, di ba? So, ano ba ang dapat malaman or dapat na ma-learn mo sa barangay? Halimbawa, what are the rules and functions of barangay? Pag mayroong mga problema sa barangay, ano ba ang ginagawa ng barangay? Ano ba ang rule nila, especially this time of pandemic? Okay? What are the rules and functions of barangay captain? The rules and functions of barangay officials? Ano ba ang ginagawa ng mga barangay tanods? Okay? What are the rules and functions of pinupun tagapamayapa if in case mayroong mga problema sa barangay? So ano ba yung ginagawa na aksyon ng mga lupon tagapamayapa? So yun siya ang learning sa barangay. Okay, so dalawa yung barangay natin, Barangay Sinisdas A at saka Barangay A. Okay, next agency. Ito siya ang pinaka-exciting na agency sa internship ng Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Kasi nga ngayon, yung pinaka-program ng ating government is to fight illegal drugs. Okay, yung banner program ng ating president. Okay, so fighting how to fight drugs. So kaya nga yung ginagawa ng mga interns doon is info dissemination. If you look at picture number 1, gumagawa sila ng mga materials, okay, para mag-lecture. Okay, meron silang mga visual aids, okay, para during their info dissemination sa mga schools, meron silang ipakita sa mga bata. Okay, pictures ng mga drugs, pictures ng mga victims. So yun ang ginagawa ng mga interns. And then, ang kagandahan nito is same with sa PNP, meron din silang recreation. Kasi nga most of the time, sa gabi nag-operate ang mga PDEA agent, mga bypass operation, mostly sa gabi ang ginagawa ng mga agents. So they have time to have a bonding with the interns. So sa umaga, sa hapon, okay, meron silang activity na maglaro ng basketball yung mga boys against PDEA agent. Yung mga babae naman, they are playing volleyball game against doon sa female na PDEA agent. Yan ang kagandahan sa PDEA. Kasi nga they are promoting sports. Okay? How to fight drug is to promote sports, especially sa atong mga youth. Okay? So yun siya ang isang program ng PDEA. And most especially, before kayo maka-graduate, okay, before kayo bigyan ng certificate of completion sa PDEA, dadaan muna kayo sa random drug tests. Kabahan na kayo if you are using prohibited drugs kasi nga sa PDEA, hindi kayo maka-graduate doon kung hindi kayo maka-undergo ng random tests. Okay, so to determine if hindi talaga gumagamit ng mga illegal drugs o prohibited drugs yung mga nag-undergo ng internship. Okay? So, yun ang sa Philippine Drug Enforcement. Okay? So, what we do in on-the-job training. So, ano ba ang ginagawa sa on-the-job training? So, there are 3 phases in our on-the-job training. the phase 1, pre-deployment, the phase 2, deployment proper, and then the phase 3, our post-deployment and culmination activity. So in our pre-deployment, okay, number 1, student orientation. So mamaya I'll be showing you yung pictures sa student orientation. Okay, then parents orientation. So before kayo i-pre-deploy, kailangan muna namin i-orient yung parent niyo. Okay, kung payag ba sila regarding sa activities and programs of internship. Especially after the orientation, meron kami papirmahan sa kanila na parents consent. Okay, so yun siya ang purpose ng parents orientation. Before, pinatatawag namin yung mga parent to come in school for orientation. But right now, online orientation yung ginawa. Okay, so number 3, pre-deployment seminar. Ini-invite namin yung mga site supervisor sa ating partner industry to come to school to conduct pre-deployment seminar. Okay, so para pagdating doon sa kanilang agency, wala nang orientation, kaagad deployment na, kaagad assignment na kasi they are through with pre-deployment seminar. And we are also conducting seminar regarding sexual harassment. Kaya halimbawa sa mga babae, deploy kayo sa police station, sa other government agencies. Eh merong mga stalkers doon, merong mga policemen or mga personnel doon na hinaharas kayo, especially mag-date tayo or sinasabihan kayo na mag-date kayo, ayaw nyo kasi may asawa yung tao. So, meron kayong idea on how to file a case of sexual harassment. Kasi nga, meron tayong seminar about sexual harassment before deployment. Then ito, it's exciting kasi nga, you will undergo agility tests, okay, to find out your physical ability. Kung kaya ba ninyo yung activity doon sa labas. Okay, paano halimbawa sa Bureau of Fire, di ba? Maraming activity doon. Kailangan talaga physically fit ka to undergo such training. So you will have to perform push-up. Okay, kailangan mag-perform ka ng push-up, 25 push-up in 1 minute. Okay, kaya ba? Close fists. Then you have to perform set-up, 25 set-up in 25 minutes. Okay, the pull-up. Then the 20 rounds of jog or run in the track oval, okay, for 25 minutes. Okay, so meron tayong track oval here in UM Athena, okay, an Olympic-sized track oval. Doon tayo mag-conduct ng agility test natin. So don't you worry, meron tayong mga medical personnel, meron tayong mga galing sa clinic, nurses natin para mag-supervise during our agility tests. Okay, and then neuro tests to find out if you are mentally prepared for the on-the-job training. You will be given certificate of mental fitness kung nakapasa kayo sa neuro tests. And then the drug tests. Okay, so kanina sa PDEA, merong drug test. Bakit meron pang drug test before deployment? Okay, so twice kayo magpa-drug test before and during your deployment. Dito sa UM muna, sa may multi-test kayo magpa-drug test for pre-deployment, and you will have also your random drug test when you are on your on-the-job training in PDEA. Okay? Then next is the medical certificate. So medical, meron kang chest x-ray, your blood pressure, urine, stool. So you will be given clearance by our school physician that you are physically fit to undergo on the job training. And of course, the completion of your uniform. So we have 3 sets of uniform. Meron tayong type A na GOA, similar sa PNP, pero iba yung color ng uniform sa PNP kasi nga bawal kasi yung magamit ng uniform talaga na kapareha doon sa PNP or sa any law enforcement agencies. Okay, so we have also the type uniform and the types uniform for our agility and yung sa ating ginagamit natin sa ating mga sports activities. Okay, kasi nga meron tayong jogging every once a week. So 6 o'clock in the morning. So lahat ng interns mag-report sa track oval kasi we will have a 1-hour jogging. Regular yan every week, once a week yan. At the same time, our meeting also after the jogging. Then for pre-deployment, for deployment proper, you have to do your internship report, your OGP journal, or your daily activity. the case study, the individual practicum, evaluation. Okay? Kasi nga, your grades, your basis of your grades will be the individual practicum evaluation by your site supervisor. Then certificate of completion to be given by your site supervisor. And for post-deployment or culmination, we'll have the sports festival. Okay, meron tayong larong basketball, volleyball, tug of war. And then right after is the awarding. Okay, merong mga awards, commendation, achievement. Then the last one is submission of requirement para meron na kayong grades in your practicum. Okay. So ito yung mga activities ng mga interns before deployment. Okay, so in the agility tests, okay, meron tayong 20 rounds of jog, okay, in the track oval. So kailangan 25 minutes lang makaperform na kayo ng 20 rounds of jogging track oval. And of course, once a week, 6 o'clock in the morning, meron tayong jogging dyan sa track oval. Okay, this is an Olympic size track oval. Kaya nga even during palarong pambansa 3 years ago dito na-held yung palarong pambansa in UM, and even the national sa amit dito rin siya na held sa UM Matina Track Oval. Yung opening at saka the closing program of palaro at saka the SAA was done here Track Oval of then pictures for all interns with faculty members, okay, our weekly jogging, okay, ito yung culmination, yung sports activities, okay, so laro kami ng basketball, ng volleyball, for bonding purposes and for camaraderie, okay, and then the activities for police station, okay, so ito yung pictures ng pre-deployment seminar, then the performance of agility tests. Okay, so yung push-up, the proper push-up, the proper execution of set-up. Okay, that is a requirement for your pre-deployment. Okay, so that ends my presentation. So thank you very much, Ma'am El.
Thank you
so merong mga tanong, merong queries. Okay, so open tayo for open forum.
Okay po. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we will ask for our students, no? If you have questions, meron ba kayong mga tanong? Okay, just type down in our question and answer portion or in our chat box, as well as to our YouTube listeners and viewers. You can comment down all your queries or your questions about our topics this morning. Okay, I think meron nag-raise ng hand kanina, no? Si Annalyn Dongyapon at Laika. May tanong ba si Miss Annalyn Dongyapon? Okay, so far walang laman ang ating chat box. So maybe we can proceed muna to the mentee, okay? To our second round of quiz game. So again, all students visit to mentee.com for our second round of quiz. Okay, may tanong daw si Jay Anasco. Ano yung tanong mo, Jay? Add kita as panelist, ha? Jay Anasco. Okay, I'll promote you to the panelist and you can ask a question to our speakers. Okay, Jay, you may now ask a question. Hello, Jay. Kindly state your school name and also your question. daw, ano? Nasaan na kaya si Jay? Maybe nag-prepare pa si Jay. Let's have muna the quiz, no? So go to menti.com. This is the code number 80752206. Okay, go to menti.com and use this code number. Please don't forget to indicate your school name so that your school will be recognized once you tap now our game for the second round. Okay, right after this game, I'll ask now for the question of Jay so that our speakers can entertain. Okay, we have 13, 14, 15 participants already. Okay, there are 24 now. Sana abot ng 40, no? Para mas marami. Twenty-eight. Code number is 8075 Okay, we are now 34. We'll start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Is everyone ready? Okay, let's have our second round of quiz and our first question. What is the other term for the fingerprint identification? Is it lie detection, dactyloscopy, or calligraphy? Okay, time's up. What's your answer? Okay, 18 got the right answer. That's dactyloscopy. That's the other term, no, for fingerprint identification. Okay, so let's see kung sino ating top for this round. Okay, Immersion, no, from Santo Tomas National High School, followed by Abdur of Mernal School of Lupon. I think this is from National or Nabunturan. Patrick and Joanne from San Luis National High School in Davao Oriental. Okay, now let's have the question number 2. Is the field of mechanics concerned with projectiles? Is it ballistics, calligraphy, or dactyloscopy? It's concerned with projectiles. Okay, this is ballistics. Dito, no, expert yung ating first speaker, Professor Pekson. So that's 29 of our total participants get the right answer. Let's see if may changes sa ating leaderboard. Okay, I think tama lahat nung nasa top 10. Still my changes pala, no? From San Luis National High School, Joanne, followed by Crizel of Bartolome Loardo National High School, Patrick, Denbel, and Abby of Maragusan National High School. Exciting sino kaya yung karoon ng tokens and gifts from the University of Mindanao. Our third question, which of the following is not the goal of the criminology program? Encourage research on criminal behavior, prepare the students for careers in crime prevention, or prepare the students for careers in hospitality management. Okay, very good. That's 24. However, merong 19 no na mali ang sagot. So, research no, that's the utmost priority of any program nowadays in order sa sinabi ni ma'am kanina to support the theories, investigations, though that's why it's part of the goal of the criminology program. So, the correct answer is careers and hospitality management because this is pertaining to HRM and tourism program. So, this is not part of the goals of the criminology program. Okay, so let's see our leaderboard. Okay, I think 8 of our top 10 got the right answer. So may dalawang papasok sa top 10. We have new top 1 from Bartolome Luardo National High School. Still in the top 5, Patrick, Joanne, Abdur, and Joe from Sangsi kaya ito, Compostela ba to or Caraga? I think this is Compostela since Davao de Oro. Now, may ano na lang tayo, may dalawa na lang na tanong. Our question number 4. The following are the law enforcement agencies pertaining to criminology except PIDEA, FDA, or Department of Finance. Saan dyan ang hindi kasali sa mga law enforcement agencies pertaining to criminology? Oh, nasa part na ng mga ano no presentation ni Ma'am Pexon kanina that Department of Finance is part of the law enforcement agencies. Yung hindi kasali diyan, yung FDA, that's the Food Department Authority or Food Development Authority, sorry. So yun yung hindi kasali. That's why only 15 got the right answer. I think we have new no list of top 5. We have Zoe from the Compostela National High School, followed by Crizel of Bartolome Luardo, Abby of Maragusa National High School, Denbel Andao, and Elmer Jan of the Santo Tomas National High School. Now, let's have our last question for this round in order for us to identify no, kung sino yung ating top 5. Okay, this is the last question. CCJE stands for CCJE stands for College of Crime and Juris Education, College of Criminal Justice Education, or College of Core and Justice Education. Okay, mayroong 13 na dali, no? So this is the College of Criminal Justice Education. Ito yung name ng department ng criminology program ng University of Mindanao. Okay, once you enroll, ito yung pupuntahan nyo na building. No? You have the separate building, no, including the education. Kayo yung mga building of top-notchers or the home of top-notchers. So now let's reveal our top 5 for this round. Okay, we have our set of top 5. Our top 1 is from Carmen National High School, no? Si Zoe Caga, followed by Crizel of Bartolome Luardo National High School, Abby of Maragusa National High School, and I can't read the name, pero yun yung top 5. Kindly message me your full name, your contact information, and your school name so that I can send you instructions on how to get or to claim your reward. So congratulations. And that would be all now for our speakers pertaining to the criminology program. Now we will have short um, introduction to what is in the University of Mindanao. So it is part of our program in order for us to promote our school, why you need to choose UM. So basically, our university is the first leadership education, and we are offering quality, affordable, and also open education. So in terms of quality education, as what you can see here, there are a lot of, or there are various of certifications now and awards received by the university. Una dyan yung PQA, as what you can see, our president and also the president of the Philippines. That is for the Philippine Quality Award. UM is a recipient for that award. That's the highest recognition, no, given to any institution or industry in the Philippines. Another is we are ISO 9001 2015 certified school. And for our business programs, we have PCAB accredited agency, PTC for our engineering, and so on and so forth. Another the reason why I need to choose the University of Mindanao, it's because of the flexibility of its schedule. This is the main reason, no, why our students here in the university prefer to choose or to study in the University of Mindanao because of the schedule. Bakit? Because, sa isang taon nyo sa college, depende yan sa schools, but in UM, meron kaming dalawang semesters lang or 2 semesters. Parang ganun na din yung training sa inyo ngayon. Sa senior high, meron kayong dalawang semesters. And in each semester, that is equivalent to 5 months. And for 5 months na yan, you have siguro aabot ng 10 subjects. But in UM, depende kung ilang units kukunin mo. If you want to graduate on time, then you can get 8 subjects to 10 subjects per sem. So, yung ginawa ni UM sa semestral na system, hinati niya into 2 terms. Yun yung twist, no? Kaya tinawag naming term system. So in one sem, since may 5 months yung one sem and may 8 subjects for that one semester, if you will divide that one into 2, ibig sabihin, in each term, mayroong 2.5 months. Then in each 2.5 months, mayroon lang kayong 4 na subjects. Okay? To make it short, in each term, mayroon lang kayong at least 4 subjects. So what does it mean? You will only spend 4 hours a day and you will only study that 4 subjects every exam, every time my activity, my performance task. You will only focus on that 4 subjects. You don't need to study all the subjects. You don't need to meet all the 8 subjects per week because other schools, other universities and colleges, you have to study all the 8 subjects. You have to meet all the 10 subjects per week. But in UM, hindi. That's why we're very flexible. And the good thing, you can choose your own schedule or session. If you are a morning person, you can wake up early, then you choose morning. If you are not available in the morning, then you can choose afternoon. Or if you have work in the morning and afternoon, then you can choose evening. So kayo po yung pipili. But if you want to stay in the university for the entire day, then you can choose 1 hour in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, one in the evening. But for some no na are not full-time student dahil may mga scholarship programs sa labas or working scholars, then it would be better if you choose UM because of the flexible schedule. Okay? So I think tama talaga si Ma'am Pexon kanina that money is not the hindrance, no? If you want to pursue college because there are a lot of ways. There are a lot of ways. You study in the morning, you have your duty in the afternoon, and UM no is located within the heart of the city, wherein there are a lot of fast food industries, there are a lot of agencies or call center agencies where you can find for a job. Since there are 24 hours in a day, then let's just say 4 hours sa pag-eskwela. So there still, I think, 20 hours remaining. Sleep 8 hours, may 12 pa. Let's just say 4 hours gala. So may 8 pang natirang number of hours in a day. So what will you do with that number of hours? Why not find for a job in order to support yourself, to finish your education? So that's why in UM, no, ang daming mga working scholars and sila talaga yung mga masyadong tawag niyan, porsigido to finish the education. That's why yun yung pinaka-reason and yun yung pinaka-unique na meron si UM. It's term system. That's the main reason why students prefer to study in the University of Mindanao. Another, I hope you're listening now because that's our last round of quiz about the University of Mindanao. it's the affordability of our tuition fee and total assessment. So UM is a private university but remains the most affordable private university because if we will do research now, halos lahat ng private university siguro no, yung minimum amount of tuition fee nasa 50K up to half million pesos because yun talaga yung standard price or assessment ng isang private university. But si UM, nagpabilin gyapon no nga barato because that's the philosophy of our founding father that everyone has a right for quality education. It's not only for the rich but for everyone nga gusto maka-experience of quality education. And if you can still not afford our tuition fee, we have various of scholarship programs you can avail, both internal and external. We have strong no partnership with with our linkages and external agencies like the government agencies and other private universities who are offering scholarship program for the students. And for your information, our tuition fee is ranging from 15 to 20,000 pesos per sem. But for some programs na mayroong mga laboratories, like siguro sa criminology, sa medical laboratories, yung nasa picture, but hindi siya abot ng 25. Siguro yung aabot lang ng 25,000 per sem, lalo na kung full load, is the medical allied courses. Like the nursing, pharmacy, and medical technology. But if you will do research, no, wala talagang medical programs dito sa Davao City na that will only cost you 25,000 per sem. Okay, again, that's 15 to 20,000 lang yung range of our total assessment na yan, including the miscellaneous and tuition fee. And also, mas makasave mo, no, if you will enroll during this pandemic because pinababaan ng UM yung binawasan yung miscellaneous fees. Okay? Another is our program. So we have more than 100 of undergraduate and graduate programs. That's why we are awarded by CHED as second of the most number of accredited programs in the country. We are next to University of Santo Tomas. Kami po yung second sa may pinakamaraming accredited. Meaning these programs are not just program na inopen for you to enroll, but these programs no follow different standards that would help you top the board exam, become better professionals in the future, and etc. That's one thing you need to consider once you look for a school. You like particularly no if you will apply for the DOST scholar or scholarship program. One of the requirements of DOST dapat yung isang school is at least level 2, level 3 accredited. So yun yung advantage if you will enroll for a particular program na accredited by PACOCOA or other accrediting agencies. So you can learn anywhere because we are using our learning management system as of this moment. So we are using our Blackboard LMS and also prepare for the senior high school. We're in one ano na siya, integrated system na siya. Lahat ng quiz nandito na, lahat ng exam, lahat ng lessons nandito sa isang Blackboard LMS na. So even if you are traveling in the city or nasa province na, as long as may signal, you can study or you can pursue your education no in UM because you can learn anywhere using our blended learning modes. And also, we are open education university, meaning wala po kaming entrance exam. You can automatically enroll in UM without evaluating your grades. We will just evaluate your grades no if graduate bagyod ka or delay. But in terms of the general average, wala po kami requirement because yun yung nga, we need to be consistent with our philosophy that everyone has a right for education. It doesn't mean that you cannot pass the entrance exam, magtambay na lang ka, or wala na kay right, no, eskwela. So everyone has a right. We don't know, you are the future president of the Philippines, the future leaders, competent mga professionals, productive members of the society. So yun yung goals namin sa university, that we don't need to filter nga dapat matatalino lang, but everyone has a right. Kaya nga, despite na hindi kami nag-filter na dapat yung magagaling lang yung makakapasok or yung mga may general average lang 95 above, but still we produce a lot of top-notchers, no? We have the highest number of top-notchers in the region. And for the span of 5 years, we have more than 120 top-notchers. as what you can see the smiling faces of these students or alumni, no, they received incentives from our university president. So that's the advantage once you top the board exam in UM. And you will receive up to 1 million pesos, no? And may opportunity agad sa job. Okay? So yun. So you can be assured that choosing UM will be the best decision you will ever make. So I think if you have a lot of information to ask pa, queries, you can visit our social media platforms and also our website. Nandyan lahat, University of Mindanao official page. Follow nyo lahat for the enrollment since wala kaming entrance exam. You follow our page for the announcement and also for the information about the enrollment. Our YouTube channel, if you are still undecided what program, you can revisit all of our immersion seminars, no? Kung ano talaga yung program for you, and also our Twitter account and also our Mindanao on Instagram. Okay? So, I think let's proceed muna sa ating last set of our quiz. Okay, are you ready? So please visit menti.com na. Visit menti.com. Make sure that your username, you indicate your school name para ma-recognize po na to. Okay, so let me fix muna. And we're ready. Let me share my screen. So this is the code number 76034560. 76034560. Okay, we have 17 participants now. 22. Again, email me no sa ating two sets of winners from our first and second round ng quiz game or Menti game. You email me your contact information, including your school name, so that I can inform you know how to get your rewards. Okay, we have 32 participants. We'll start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Is everyone ready? Okay, so we will now start our last round of our quiz. This is about the University of Mindanao, no? On my last presentation. Okay, may umabol pa. UM offers quality, affordable, and blank education. Open, free, or exclusive? Okay, time's up. Correct answer is open. 'Di ba? Sabi ko kanina, open admission sa UM, walang entrance exam. No, we are not free since it's a private university. However, our tuition fee is affordable. And obviously, we are not exclusive. Our university is for everyone, no? So only 16 got the right answer. Let's see our leaderboard. Okay, our leading Participant is from Maragusa National High School, followed by Haji, Juhaina from Davao City National High School, Girly, and Zoe, still Zoe, no? Yung kanina from Compostela. Okay, next, number 2. How much is the total assessment of UM per semester? Hopefully na kinig kayo kanina, no? 15 to 20,000, 25 to 30,000, or 30,000 and above. Okay, very good, no? 25 yung tumama. So, for your information pala, kung graduate kayo with at least general average of 95%, automatically maging part kayo ng academic scholarship ng University of Mindanao. Okay? You will enjoy free tuition fee credits for that. Okay? At least 95% of general average for your senior high school. Once you will graduate with that general average, then automatically maging part ka ng academic scholarship program ng UM. Sa mga hindi pa, you still have the chance now to look for external scholarship programs. Marami dyan. So our tuition fee for the entire semester is only 15 to 20,000 pesos. Okay, that's for our second question. Now let's have the leaderboard. Still on the top is Abby of Maragusa National High School, followed by Girly, JB of Carmen, Yuhaina from Davao City National High School, and Zoe from Compostela. Okay, next question. Okay, UM has how many terms in one sem? 3 terms, 2 terms, 4 terms. Okay, 2 terms is the correct answer. Yung isang sem merong dalawang terms, no? So in 1 year merong 4 na terms plus 1 summer. So 5 terms lahat. Okay? So very good sa 26. Let's see ating leaderboard. Very good, no? Nakinig talaga. Lahat ng top 10 tumama, but our fastest is Pearly from CNHS, Compostela National High School. Still on our top 5, Abby, Johaina, Joe, Jessica, and Annalyn. Okay, now let's have our last question. This is actually a bonus round, no? Question number 4 pa pala, sorry. For our question number 4, UM has school uniform and admission exam. Is it true or false? Ala, ang daming true. The correct answer is false, no? So, baka nadali kayo sa school uniform. UM has no school uniform. For everyone's information, that what makes us unique, no? As a university, yung pagkaroon ng tawag niyan, freedom, no? On what to wear and kung saan kayo comfortable. Okay, so we are just practicing the international standard, and also if you will do research for universities and colleges abroad and even in NCR or in Manila, wala talagang school uniform. So since flexible yung schedule, if gikan ka trabaho, then you can go immediately, no, to the campus to study. Then pag mag-ulan, dili na ka magproblemang kung mabasa imong sayal nga puti or magkaunsa ka, then you can wear, no, kung unsay perfect for that season. Okay? So another is wala talaga kaming admission exam since we are open education or we're offering open education. So wala kaming entrance exam, wala din kaming school uniform. Okay? So ganun na para wala nang magkamali next time. Okay, let's see. Since maraming nagkamali, ano na kaya ang standing ng ating leaderboard? I think may new top 1 tayo. Okay, we have Zoe again from Compostela National High School, followed by Johaina of Davao City National High School, Annalyn from San Luis National High School, Josil Lad, Pearly Batingal of Compostela. But our fastest is from Bartolome National High School, si Crizel. Now, let's move on to our last question. This question class is a bonus point. So, padali ay lang yun, no? Og answer because once you answer fast, you get more points. Okay? Last question. I am planning to enroll in UM. Yes or no? Kadugay og tuplok ang uban or still undecided. Okay? Time's up. Wow. So among of our participants answered 30. So 30, this is our prospective no students who would like to enroll in UM and would choose the criminal justice education or the criminology program. Okay, so that's it for our last round of quiz. Let's see our final leaderboard. Okay, I think the fastest no is from San Luis. Si Pearly pala. So our top one is Zoe from Compostela National High School, followed by Johaina of Davao City National High School, Annalyn from San Luis, Josel Lad, I think this is from Manay National High School, Batingal of Compostela National High School. Congratulations. Please don't forget to email me your contact information and your school name so that I can send to you the information how to get or claim your rewards. So that's it for our quiz. And for now, I would like to thank everyone no, for your participation and also to your immersion teachers for allowing you to join our immersion seminar. And I hope you've learned something from me and from our speakers and from everyone. No? So I think my question kanina, are we good na ba? Jay Anasco? May tanong kasi daw siya kanina. Hello, Jay? Or if you cannot ask your question now, you can message us anytime, no, using our social media platforms here posted in the screen. So if no more questions, Lance, if no more concerns, we would like to thank you everyone. And in behalf of the University of Mindanao, we would like to congratulate you in advance on your graduation day. Congratulations, everyone, and thank you so much for your participation. Bye, Ga. And by the way, the attendance, I will chat in the chat box, no? The attendance form. You need to evaluate our speakers and also you need to accomplish this form, no? Para mabigyan kayo ng certificate. Okay. Send ko lang muna sa YouTube para sa ating mga participants on YouTube. Okay, if you're done, you may now leave the Zoom and thank you so much for your participation. Once again, good afternoon na pala. Good afternoon, everyone.